The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Top it up, Dolly Vision streaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Chats on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Top it up, Dolly Vision streaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Chats on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back in the house. And of course, I got the lovely PJ with me. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the Summer Wells case. Little Summer, still missing. Also, the Sebastian Rogers case. Y'all know that young man, Hendersonville, Tennessee. And also, the latest on Karen Reed. In reverse. We're going to do the Karen Reed part in reverse, but first we're going to need your DNA on the
like button.
On the like button. That's the only part of the intro that PJ knows. She's like, on the like button.
Not okay. My intro.
Okay, but she got it right. At least she got it right. Leave it on the like button just in case they go missing. Where?
In Tennessee.
In the hills of Tennessee, not just Tennessee. It got to be the hills of Tennessee because there's some parts of Tennessee that's fairly safe, okay? And then there's the hills that have eyes, part of Tennessee. That's where you don't want to go missing. But if you do, and the eyes and the hills happen to get you, Dolly will come track you down. Because I ain't scared of the hills have eyes, okay? I know they got them. I'll come find you. But if you're brand new, sub up, ring the bell for notifications. We're not far from hitting 63,000, and I can't do it without your guys' help, okay? Now, I know y'all seen the thumbnail tonight, right? And do you want to read them the thumbnail, PJ? You want me to read it to them?
I was still looking for the video I was looking for. You can read it.
Okay. So, as you see, there's a guy that looks like a bounty hunter that says, hey, I want to start looking for missing kids. Now, I don't know what bounty hunter he could look like, you know, in this thumbnail right over here next to me. He could be any bounty hunter. We don't know which bounty hunter he
don't
is.
Look familiar to me.
And then the next little picture says, Seth, I'm going to make you the general of the green team. Okay. And then the bottom left picture says, let's put up some fake reward money. Right. It has a little picture of Sebastian Rogers and Summer Wells. And then the last picture is the dude with his war braids that says, all right. All right. Okay. All about, listen, Dolly's all about some fake rewards. I'm offering one tonight. Okay. What can we give a reward on? If anybody can tell me where Carmen Sandiego is, I'm offering 3 Easter peeps, okay? You know, them little fucking marshmallow
I know
chickens.
what peeps are.
Okay, I'm just saying, just in case they don't know what peeps are. I'm offering 3 peeps if anybody can tell me where Waldo is. Okay, if you know where Waldo is, I'm giving $1 million and 3 Easter peeps.
Where are you gonna get $1 million from?
The same place they're going to get their reward from. Okay, I'm getting it from a former bounty hunter. Okay, I'm getting it from a former bounty hunter, and that's where my reward money is coming from. Hidden in Clue's belly button, says Elevated Podcast.
Oh, Lord.
If you dig deep down into Clue's belly button,
Don't do that.
you're gonna find some pieces of Cletus's beard.
No, ew.
Okay,
Ew,
some lint
no.
balls,
No.
and $1 million. Okay, and sharks with freaking laser beams. Sharks with
In her
freaking
belly
laser.
button?
And her belly button
What are
is
they
deep.
doing in there?
Okay,
What?
her belly button is bigger than the pool we about to install in the
Oh
backyard.
my God.
Okay, we're getting us above ground. We're
Oh my
big
God.
time now. We're big
Oh my
time. We're blowing up, right? We're blowing up. We're gonna
She's
get
got
us.
an in-ground pool though.
We ain't that
So
big
we're not
time.
that
We
big.
ain't that big yet. We ain't that big yet. Okay, but one of these days we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay.
Maybe one day.
So anyway, for anybody that don't know, there's this intelligence agency that, you know, I don't know, they got a cameo from a former bounty hunter. They're selling a book. Has anybody read his book yet? Anybody read his book?
I think B. Tim did.
Did B. Tim really
Mhm.
read his book?
I think so.
He bought that book.
I think so.
Oh my God, B. Tim. There goes this. I was going to sign him a starter cap because I know he's a big Dolly fan. I was going to hook B. Tim up, but now I don't know if I can do that. I thought he had more sense than that.
No, I mean, I think it was a good investment to get to know the deep-rooted childhood issues and things that
He looks like he looks like he could be a dog, the bounty hunter fan. Little beat avatar just buzzing around. Okay. I was gonna hook him up, but now I don't know. I don't know what I can do for him. But anyway, let me give my warnings. Dolly Vision is for what?
entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only.
Why
We talk
you
news,
saying it?
rumors, gossip, speculation, theories mixed with some comedy and a whole lot of chaos.
Mystery. I was gonna say mystery.
So don't take nothing here as fact. It's just my opinion. Completely satire, people.
The
Oh.
internet is forever.
The internet's forever. Also, the callers' opinions tonight are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on my ugly face. Don't get me sued. I'm broke, okay? They want a lot of money to install this pool. I ain't got it, okay? So, everyone is guilty to proven innocent on the court of YouTube, okay? In the court of YouTube. But in the real world, everyone is innocent to proven guilty in the court of law. And the biggest one of them all. Don't try to be PJ.
Don't.
She's
It's
mean and she'll stab you in your sleep. Okay,
Well,
you don't need it.
That doesn't even make sense. Why would that? That would be.
Because you could go to prison.
Oh, okay.
But I'm scared to sleep around here. That's why you see these bags in my eyes, because I don't never sleep. I got one eye looking at PJ the whole time. Okay. So anyway,
I can't.
we have seen, people come into the Sebastian Rogers case and cause straight chaos. I'm talking about more chaos than is here on Dolly Vision. Okay. We mix comedy and a whole lot of chaos, but there's people that came in and they started, especially with the assistance of a missing child's father, they started taking out frivolous lawsuits on YouTubers, making threats that they were going to sue everybody, and so on, trying to hit people with RICO. Now, I like a little pico on my tacos, but I don't do the RICO. I don't do they were trying to say YouTubers were organized crime. Okay, organized crime. But yet what they're doing is just horrendous. And it's making out to be madness on these internet streets. They came in, they stirred the pot, they wanted some reactions from people, and I believe that's what they got. Okay.
Why remember Seth in the very beginning saying that he was going to do whatever it took, whether it was good or bad, to keep his kid's name out here on these streets. Is that what they're doing?
Now, here's the thing about that. I don't think that's a good plan, right? Like, we can keep his name out here with doing good. We don't have to do bad to keep his name
I
out
agree.
here. Right? I believe it's great to shine a positive light on the things. Thank you for joining up. Thank you for subbing. Now we're one person closer to 63,000. But, you know, when you do shine a
I
light,
need
you
one
can
more
also
person to
shine.
get to 8,700.
You can also shine a negative light on the things.
Yeah.
And I believe a lot of the light that they've been shining on
It's
to this
negative.
case is negative light, right? And a lot of defectors in their camp, and a lot of their camp are, you know, con artists and scammers. And people are like, Dolly, have you changed sides?
And then, but no, now that you say that about trying to sue YouTubers and blah blah blah, the other side did the exact same thing.
Well, they arrested, had a YouTuber arrested, and they took protective orders out
It's a little different.
on somebody to try to keep them away from them, but that's a little bit different.
A little bit.
Okay,
I just still think
they
that
didn't go
that's-
after the purse, they didn't go after the bag, which honestly I think that would have been probably a better scenario for them, right? Than far
If
as
they tried to
putting
steal her
somebody.
purse?
No, I'm talking about a civil case instead of a criminal case.
Right.
Okay, because we
Well, it didn't become. It started out as civil. It didn't become criminal until the violations.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about lawsuit case.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This might, maybe they should have went after the pocketbook to keep her away and shut her up instead of her behind bars trying to shut her up. I think that we've heard this person say, hey, this is their job. This is how they make their living. This is how they pay their
Lord.
bills. If you would have went after the money, you would have shut this person down.
But if you're
Right.
in jail, you can't be on YouTube.
Yeah, but it takes so long to get people in jail with court dates and appeal. It didn't really, you seen it didn't shut her up.
Right.
Right.
It just made it worse.
It made it worse, right?
That's
it made
what
it
happens when
absolute-
you corner a scared animal. They just start. Just
Yeah, she
crazy.
was like if you cornered a rat,
Mhm.
it's going to bite its way and try to claw itself out, and that's exactly what she tried to do. You know, I think they could have used a better approach of shutting some of these people up, that especially people that are in it for money, and that's the only reason they're in it. It's easy to shut those people down. You just go after the money. Now, if people are not in it for the money, it's going to be really hard to shut them people up, because then they're going to use it as a point to go at you. And I believe on the Proudfoot side, that backfired on them.
It did.
Okay. It made people support her. It made
Yeah.
more people go
Because
at
a lot of
them.
people believe they're guilty.
Absolutely.
And so that actually gave her more fuel to her fire.
More support, right? Because people were like, oh, hell no, right? But if they would have went after the bag, she wouldn't have had so much support.
Yeah.
Right. But they went after her freedom. And that, I believe that's where they made a flaw. And listen, I know people were going to back her because a lot of people do think the Proudfoot are guilty of a crime, right?
Mhm.
Even Dolly, me, myself. If you said, Dolly, who's your number one suspect in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers? I would say without a doubt, to me, is Katie. Okay. And
I think all
possible.
three know, but clearly it's the person that was last with.
Now, if you said, Dolly, who do you like in this family? I would be like, I don't know if I
That's
trust.
not even the question. Like, why would we care who we like? That's the difference between YouTubers and actual news reporters. They have everybody. You know, that made me think of that yesterday when we were talking, and you were talking about how you didn't want to have Stacey Wanderer up, and we had to do what needed to be done. If you were a news reporter or a person just that reported news, you wouldn't have that option. They would tell you, hey, look, you're interviewing so-and-so today.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter how you felt about the person, whether or not you liked him, you didn't like him, you think he was a
You're
piece of
right.
shit.
My opinion really doesn't matter.
That's why all of these people that are doing this, I think, are doing it incorrectly. Because they're making friends and they're looking at the person as if somebody, you know, as like somebody that they want to happily talk to, when in fact some of these people need to be talked to so they can publicly talk, and the internet is forever, and everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law, and it's helpful in that extent. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I tell people that they seem to think because I talk bad about Seth that I must be friends with the Proudfoots.
You've talked bad about the Proudfoots too.
Yes, well,
for a
I
long
wouldn't say
time.
I wouldn't say that I've talked bad. I've said things that I believe to be the truth.
Right.
Okay. In my mind, I believe it to be the truth.
Right.
Okay. The things I say about self, I say those because I believe those to be the truth.
The video that I sent you is the latest video with the two of them, Katie and Kristen, doing that interview, because I want to go over the things they said.
You want to go over some of the things that Katie
Because that's the
Chris
last
said.
actual newsworthy article that I could find. I was looking through the news of what we actually got out of this case that was actually newsworthy, and it's been a month.
When are the news going to call bullshit on the reward? Why haven't they done any digging into? Why haven't any of these journalists that are real journalists, and I'm not talking about fucking Bullhorn Betty with I printed a press pass,
right?
But I'm talking about legitimate journalists. Why haven't any legitimate journalists dug into what is going on in this case?
Is it newsworthy? It's such.
I mean, they cover it. They covered Betty in court. Why not get to the bottom of what's going on? I think if you was a journalist, a legitimate journalist, you should look into the case enough to know, hey, there's some things that are going on in this case that are not right.
I don't think it's news. Like, for example, I told Granny's watching.
You don't think that?
She needed to contact TMZ once this case got her anti-slap got approved. I think that TMZ would cover it perfectly just because Dog is involved, and Dog and his.
Is he involved? Where is he at?
I mean, he was the one that was front and center on News Nation.
But where has he been at in the search, in the recovery of Sebastian Rogers?
Well, clearly he's not, but his name is in it.
Yeah, I mean, because somebody put his name in it. Like, Lady Butterfly, thank you so much. Right? The first one on the Dolly train tonight. Woo, woo. Okay, choo, choo. All aboard the Blessed Express. When you riding with the best, you on the Express. Okay? So, we heard in the beginning, and listen, so many people gave me hell when I said, this dude ain't what he used to be.
Yeah.
Right. They were like, you jealous? Dog is this and dog is that and dog this and doggy. When I think dog, I think Snoop Dogg. Okay. Yeah. The only dog that matters to me. The OG dog, Snoop. Okay. And this man was really good at catching fugitives, but you got to remember in that they got to sign a paper that says their name, where they live, who their relatives are, where they work at, all their personal information is written right there for you. So it ain't like you got to do a whole lot of work to track these people down. Right. I mean, where their mama lives, where their daddy lives, where their brothers live, where they work, all that stuff, right? And somebody has to sign for them. So it's easy to track those people down. Yeah, you just go down the list and hit everybody's house until you hit the right house that they're at, right? Yeah. But that's a lot different in a missing kid case. There's none of that. There's no last address. There's none of this. There's none of that. There's, you got to go by witnesses, and there ain't been no. Or tell her happy Easter to you too. Awesome. So it's a little bit harder to find a missing kid.
I mean, think about it. The cops can't put it together.
The cops, the TBI, the FBI. In some of these cases, the Secret Service has even worked on, right?
Yeah.
And what blows my mind is I know I'm an idiot, right? I don't have no problem with it, right? I'm into true crime. I'm smarter than a lot of people, but I'm an idiot, okay? There's so many YouTube creators out here that believe that they're smarter than the police or the TBI or the FBI or the Secret Service. And they got information that these people don't got. That blows my mind that so many people believe that type of thing, right?
Lately, you can just say whatever you want to, and people are like, oh,
yeah. My sources said that he's going to be found this week. Okay. My sources, I got sources all over the place. Now, Dolly does got connections and friends in low places. Okay. I wouldn't say in high places, but I got some friends in low places, right? Definitely got friends in low places. So sometimes I hear some things. So every time somebody says a source told me, it's not inaccurate. I've had plenty of sources, especially during the Quentin Simon stuff and other cases, that filled me in on some things behind the scenes and even things that are going on now. But
Sweet Jones.
Sweet Jones.
It's always so sweet.
Happy Easter to you. So today, before we get all into that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
listen, some of you guys out there are complete badasses, and I thank you, thank you, thank you. I got sent so many clips of some of these channels having to eat crow, and viewers actually calling into the channels and calling them out on their bullshit. Now, listen, I'm never encouraging people to troll people, right? But there's nothing wrong with going up in the chat and saying, hey, why don't you explain this, right? And listen, you know, I give the dude with the monkey a hard time because of some of the things he's done. But I listened to a clip today of somebody calling into his channel and saying, hey, what happened with the Nancy Grace interview? And I watched this dude backpedal himself into a corner.
What did he say?
That Nancy's people wasn't telling the truth, and there's more to it. But he didn't. He knew he was trying.
What it was?
No, he couldn't. What could he say? He knew it was bullshit, right? Like you can only backpedal so far before you run out of space to backpedal, right? And this person was, but how she did it was great because she was like, "Oh, I love you. I watch you all the time, but I just wanted to know from you."
Right.
But she had trapped him. She boxed his ass in so good. It's so good. So whoever you are, lady,
I want to hear
good
that.
damn
Where's
job
that
to
clip?
you. It's somebody tagged me in it. I'll play it, right?
I want to hear
Apparently the lab was trying to get into his backstage while this caller had called in and pointed out.
Because the lab always jumps into
Because listen, these people have been running a narrative for the intelligence agency, for the bounty hunter, for Seth, and even people were doing it to the Mr. and Mrs. E, right? Remember they came out. I thought they had been around for a while, but apparently they came out right after Sebastian went missing, right? And there's people making, saying that they are connected to these people and all kinds of shit, right? But I've been knowing that these people have been running a narrative for the green team. Your crime time buzz, which some people believe is Tony's wife, is whoever it is, it's a woman with a voice changer. Okay. And I'm one of these people, if you can't put your face to what you say, right? I don't trust what you say anyway. Why should I believe a fucking avatar? Okay. You can't argue with an avatar. You ever tried to argue with an avatar? I have. I don't waste my time. And then I'm like, what am I doing? I'm arguing with a person that we don't even know who the fuck it is, right? Yeah. We don't even know who you are. Why should we believe anything you say when we know clearly you're pushing a narrative for a certain group of people? And listen, I feel horrible that Seth is missing his child. I pray to God Sebastian Rogers is found. Okay. I believe Chris and Katie know something. I believe that Seth hangs with a bunch of scumbags. That's just the truth. That's where I'm at with it. Nothing personal against any of these people. Like I said, I don't hate people. I don't dislike, I dislike some of the behavior and the things they're doing and the misinformation they're pushing because they don't realize how much they're hurting the case of a missing child. Like, yeah, you can push some misinformation, but you don't do it in missing kid cases. You don't get up here and lie. You don't get up here and make up shit. Look what happened to T-Rev when he did that. Now he's dashing and crashing, right? And he went from a pretty successful growing channel to nobody gives a damn what he says or does, right? Because nobody believes him. Yeah, nobody believes him anymore. Your fucking French fries are cold. He probably drank half your shake before it got there. So you don't want to be doing these things, but people up here on the YouTube streets, and this is the word of the month for me: selective outrage. Like, it's okay to be mad at certain people, but we can't be mad at this person, right?
They ignore it when that person does it.
No, let them know, people. Go in these chats and let them know, hey, what you're doing is effed up, right? What you're doing is effed up. When you get them on the phone, box them in like this caller did. Give me a second, and I will actually pull this up for you guys, all right? Because you got to hear how this man tried to backpedal his way out of this Nancy Grace interview. All right, so here we go, commentary. Because these clip channels keep tagging me. I don't understand why, but they do. So, I usually, if you tag me, I'll tend to watch it sometimes. This one's from 7. Is this the one? Hold on.
I don't know.
Okay, no, it's this one right here. And this channel is Karma Chronicles. And I guess that's a good name. Okay, we don't want to hear all that, guys. All right, we don't want to hear all that. That's a little bit too much.
Lord.
All right, let's hear it. Okay, hold on. They can't hear it yet because I didn't share the screen.
Oh no, okay.
All right, I got to share the screen so they can even hear it. Let's do this. Let's share the screen. Turn my audio on. Share. All right. So now you'll be able to hear the audio. Now there's a little bit of mixture of audio you're going to hear. One is the lab because he's been blocked from Monkey Boy's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know why he got blocked? He went up there pretending to be Queen Bee, and
they blocked him. Yeah, they thought it was Queen Bee and they blocked it, but it was really the lab doing his Queen Bee impersonation.
You know, this is on that whole video that I have. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But you get to hear this caller call in and asked him about the Nancy Grace interview.
All right.
So that's the important part, not the lab part. I don't care about the lab, but I want people to hear the whole how he backpedals around what he did on Nancy Grace. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it right here. I got to back it up a little bit.
Well, that's fine. Like I said,
I don't know how this is gonna work.
Things
oh shit
happen, and
things happen.
What things?
Is Josh wants to leave?
What things? Oh God, please don't bring Josh. Christ.
I'll tell you this.
Did you hear that?
Let me tell you something. I stand by my work 100%.
I didn't say it. His truth seeker. Someone else brought it up, not me.
Well,
that sounds familiar.
I stand by every single thing that I've ever put out.
Okay, so can you please explain to me what happened with Nancy Grace? So I can understand, because my sources are telling me something completely different than what you're telling me. I want your side of it.
Well, how can your sources know a damn thing whenever it was me, Nancy?
I think I can do this now.
Understand, because Nancy's crew is telling you one thing. My heart is saying.
Did I get kicked out? What? I got kicked out. What happened? She what? She said what? She said cheese and rice.
I could have swore there was a longer video.
It's so loud.
But basically he got backed into a corner.
Right.
And you see how
I have that video. I could find it, but not tonight.
Yeah, he backpedaled, but it's things like that people have to address, right? Like, listen, if you let him get away with these things, right? We done let him get away with showing the dead girl's body, Callie Rodney's dead body. He's getting away with the whole making up things in the Sebastian Rogers case. When does it end? When does it end, right? If you don't put any pressure on him to be a better person, he's not going to be a better person. He is so fake. That ain't the whole video, though, because part of the video was saying stuff like, have you talked to your friend Nick and Dog? And he's like, oh, I ain't talked to them in months. Oh, let me see if I can find
And then after that, I want to send you the video of why Josh has Queen Bee as his avatar name.
Yeah, I mean, I know he does the Queen Bee impersonation.
I want to listen to that. It's great.
Hold on a second. Penny? What am I missing here? All right, it must be on this page right here. I got so much shit open. Because they keep tagging me in it, and I watched it earlier today. I was like, okay. Is it this one? Damage control. Sebastian Rogers clutch to pearl. I don't think I've seen this one. But they had tagged me in it, and he was saying that he was trying to distance himself from like Dog and Nick, and how he didn't like Tony
In the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, now, because it's not, if you know, basically, like, he's trying to cover everything. Oh, well, I'm friends with him when it's convenient for him. And then he's not friends with them when it's not convenient for him. When people are mad at what they're doing, oh, I don't got nothing to do with them. But when it benefits him, he's all about being their buddies, and he's in on this, and he's, you know, I've been called complete bullshit on his stuff. Now, what do you want me to play?
I was trying to find the video of him on your channel with you and him talking, and he's Queen Bee, and he says the impersonation, but I can't find it anymore.
Yeah, so I mean, I've heard him do his Queen Bee impersonation.
I think the chat would like it. It's funny. But I can't find it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is even they did this to Mr. and Mrs. E. People came in there and was like, you know, they've been calling these people out on this because
in the chat, you mean?
Yeah,
they don't do call-ins.
Yeah, they don't do call-ins. They were doing it in the chat, and they were constantly blocking people in the chat. And then, of course, you had Bullhorn Betty in there saying, "Oh, you don't gotta chat. It's a privilege to chat.
Yeah.
You can watch, but it's a privilege to chat. So you better act right, right? Like it shows me right
She's
there
crazy.
Of the people you run with, what type of information that you're going to push out onto these YouTube
it's
streets."
Predictable.
But basically somebody finally called him out on his channel about the whole Nancy thing. And these are people telling him, hey, we're fans of yours. We like you.
Yeah.
Justin, I love you, but can you explain this to us, right? That's how you're going to have to do it, because if you come off negative, of course, they're going to be in the chat just like her. They were talking crap about her, right? They're going to block you. They're not going to want you in there, because it's a matter of pushing that narrative. If you're against what they're saying, or you agree, if you say something they don't like, you are a hate channel. Yeah. Okay, that's it. That's all it takes to be a hate channel.
And the whole crowd gangs up on you.
Yeah, because his viewers rather just overlook what is going on,
just to be in the crowd,
and to be in the crowd. Okay. Now, to me, that is nothing more than an echo chamber. All you're running is an echo chamber. You got a bunch of yes people around you. People are scared to say no because they're going to be outcasted and they may not get no makeup tips, right? You know what I'm saying? They don't get to watch you play with your monkey if they don't kiss your ass, right? So, and there's been a lot of people that have been running this. And my whole thing is I'm thankful to see people on the internet being smart, being intelligent, speaking up when these wrongs are being done, right to these people, no matter how much you like them. If I was up here doing something terribly wrong, I would hope you would stand up to me and go, Dolly, man, I just don't really dig that stuff that you're doing. Now, I will address people that say things to me. I got an email the other day that felt like that I was being too hard on Seth and that I was on Chris and Katie's side.
That lately. That's right? On their side. That's that brainwash.
Because listen,
it's weird.
At the present time, there ain't a whole lot to say about Chris and Katie because they ain't doing much. When they do stuff, I say shit about it, but they haven't done anything, right? To really talk on.
I want to talk about that interview, and I want to talk about stuff that they said.
We will. We're going to get to that.
So, I mean, there is.
But what I'm saying, the old stuff.
But just because there's one thing that you're discussing now about one of the sides, which there should never be sides. That's the problem underlyingly.
Yeah, that's what people don't understand. Like they're watching me thinking I should be saying all these good things about Seth.
And then they're saying you're a flip-flopper because you're not currently talking about Chris and
Katie. Because I don't get down with any of them. That makes me a flip-flopper.
That's what I'm. It's so frustrating. And then when you try to correct them or explain it, they act like they don't know. Like when you talk to the baby Gap and he's like, I don't know about that. Like it's just like they act
off topic. Dolly, do you think Tennessee law enforcement is a part of human trafficking and that's why they don't take child cases seriously? Absolutely not.
Right.
Now, listen, you can have a bad cop or two. The whole police force ain't bad. Do you not have any family members that have been police? Or I have, you know what I'm saying? And I know that all police are not bad. I support the blue. I don't support bad cops, right? One bad apple will spoil the bunch, right? Mm-hmm. So it's listen, in anything, we're going to have bad people. School
Yeah.
teachers. Do you not
Yeah.
support school teachers? Right? Do you got some school teachers that do bad things to kids?
Mhm.
Priests. There's some priests out there that touch little boys. Do we throw the Bible away?
Yeah.
Right? There's bad people in every walk of life. But do I think that the Tennessee police are sex trafficking children?
No.
No, that's a little bit out my
Far.
conspiracy realm. Just to be honest with you. Now, is it completely impossible that there's a bad cop out there doing things? No, it's not impossible, right? It could happen, but you know, my honest opinion with that is no, I don't believe that to be the case. There's a lot of kids in this country that go missing because there's a lot of bad people in this country. There's people that are preying on kids. There's people that hurt kids. There's people that abuse kids. There's people that kidnap kids. There's people that sexually assault kids. There are people that sell kids. So you got to really take care of your village, right? You got to take care of your loved ones and the people around you and keep an eye out and be vigilant to what is going on around you, because the world is absolutely crazy. To get into this is one of the things that really upsets me with this fake reward stuff is they have moved into the Summer Wells atmosphere. Right, we've seen a lot of chaos in the Summer Wells case, and I don't believe that we need any more weirdos in this, right? I don't understand why this media group, right, but decided we want to go after missing kids, right?
Profitable?
I mean, in what way?
I don't
what
know.
What way are they
but that's
profiting?
the only reason I can think of as to why they would go that route.
Like, I can understand they're a media group and they want to do interviews. They want to bring you news. I get that. I can understand that, right? I can even understand them going after an escaped fugitive because they have Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's a fugitive. But the whole missing kids thing, I don't understand. And listen, the way it looks to me, and this is just my opinion, I have no proof of this, the rewards look like they're bullshit to me. Okay, that they're not real. And there's a lot of reasons I think that, and I ain't saying they're not real. I'm just saying it appears to me that it's not 100% legit. Now, all of a sudden, they got a $47,000 reward. If these rewards are legit, right, for Summer Wells, why are they not put into a trust fund just like the original reward was for Summer Wells?
Because it's not the same type of reward.
It's not, and the reward before for Summer Wells was real.
Right.
It was 100% real. It was in the money. The money was in the account, in a bank, in a trust for Summer Wells. And when that time ran up, they gave that to other charities that dealt with missing and exploited children in Tennessee.
Right.
So if you can't back what you say up, that's just like me saying, hey, I got a $1 million reward up for Where's Waldo. Okay. That it don't mean shit. You can say it and you can say it. And then when you run a campaign, if you really had a reward up, wouldn't you be fair across the board? Why is there a campaign against Chris and Katie? Now,
I haven't looked at the papers or the fine print, but Joe says, why a rectal exam for the reward?
Does it say that?
What? I've heard stuff like that. Like they required a retinal scan.
Retinal, like your eyeball.
Right. But this says why a rectal exam.
Rectal is your booty hole. I think it's two different places.
But even then, if it was a retinal scan, why?
They're not giving up no money.
They don't have the money, in my opinion.
I mean, they might have the money. They might.
So why haven't they paid back their back taxes?
That's just one person out of that group.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't really know what has been paid in those taxes. That's what Google says, but Google's not always 100% accurate in everything. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know if the bounty hunter.
Oh, Joe said typo eye exam.
Eye exam. Yeah, you need an eye exam. I don't know. It definitely two different places, retinal and
yeah.
So yeah,
not the same thing.
Definitely not the same thing. Okay. You definitely don't want to be poked in either one of those places, though. No. Let me tell you, both of them may be painful. Both of them may be painful. So listen, the whole interfering in this, right? And basically that's what it's doing, and they're doing this for attention.
Yeah.
Right? It's all attention. I believe the lawsuit was to try to shut people up, intimidate people. And these are the same people. Now, I've seen people all day posting things about this intelligence agency and people that are in the Summer Wells case being pissed off about them being involved.
Yeah, I sent that. That lady was
the
amazing.
The little old lady that
I love that lady.
She was a little scary.
She
okay.
was a lot scary.
Did you send that to me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I will play this lady's video. And
she's passionate.
Yeah, she was definitely talking about well, hold on.
Hello.
All right. Now, what's this lady's name?
The channel's name?
Lip Locked No More. Okay. Somebody sent us this video today, and this is a lady that was into Summer Wells case, has been following it for the past few years.
I think she talks about it. She's got a small channel.
Yeah, and well, she has 6.8 thousand people.
Decent sized channel.
That's a decent sized channel. All right, let's take a little look.
The cutest old lady, but she's a little scary.
Yeah,
I gotta say.
Yeah, and she said she was a journalist. Now listen, we're using this under the Fair Use Act, lady. Don't strike me, right? We agree with what you say. All right? So
and there's curse words here, so if you've got
trigger warning,
earmuffs.
She has a
she's serious.
She's another elderly potty mouth. Yeah, she means business, but I can see her passion in what she says.
I'm going to take a very short stroll around my yard, which is what I do when I need to mull something over.
Grandma ready to whip that ass. When it comes
to YouTube, when I have something to say. And I have something to say right now. It's going to be short. It's going to be to the point. And it is not going to be sweet. So I'm giving you a trigger warning right up front for language.
What a sweet lady.
Ordinarily, when we take these yard strolls, we're in landscape position, not portrait.
You're in portrait, lady.
Usually the camera is pointed in the opposite direction so that I can see where I'm going. Because as you can see, I'm an old lady. And I have a short message, very pointed, to a group of people that go by At Night Media.
She means
Nick the Hat, Long Hong Dong,
Long Hong Dong,
Dog the Bounty Hunter, and any and all associated parties. Hi, my name is Susan Brewer. Yes, that's my legal name. I live in Heber Springs, Arkansas, and everybody knows my street address. It is not nice to meet you.
It is not nice to meet you. I've been keeping
up with your shenanigans in the Sebastian Rogers case. And it's been brought to my attention today that you have begun dipping your nasty, filthy, motherfucking stinking toes into the case of missing Summer Moon Utah Wells, who disappeared on the 15th of June of 2021 at the age of 5 from 110 Ben Hill Road in the Rogersville area of Tennessee, what they call the Beach Creek community. I have been covering Summer's case myself since late summer of 2021, early autumn.
You know, I can't even remember the date I started covering Summer's case. It's been, I know, good 3 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Over 3 years. So, and God, time flies.
So I'm telling you, motherfuckers, right now, right straight up, you don't want to fucking deal with me. I am a retired professional journalist. Yes, a real one. And there's not a fucking thing in my life or my past that you can come at me with.
Granny
It
man.
won't make any fucking difference whatsoever. So you need to hear me, and you need to understand right now. No, I do not go real life on people. But if you think for one moment I'm going to sit aside quietly while a bunch of ne'er-do-wells such as yourself, Nick, on parole for some very serious crimes, hung, you couldn't find your dick with both hands or your asshole. Dog the Bounty Hunter, the only way you ever found anybody is because they skipped bond and you were provided all of their information,
what I
including their
said.
motherfucking address and who all of their relatives and associates are.
Granny
So-
for president.
If you think you're going to come into the Summer Wells case, which is already a 3-ring shit show, and make it worse than it has already been, welcome to the world of Susan Brewer. In other words, for you, you fuck around in Summer Wells case, absolute motherfucking hell.
Granny about to get the shotty, okay?
Oh boy.
About to get the shotgun out. And see, this is what I'm saying. The people that have already been in this Summer Wells case, they know what transpired.
Mhm.
It was F around and find out, right? Exactly. Like, listen, you may get away with this in the Summer Wells case, but listen, we don't need, I mean, in the Sebastian Rogers case, because you have the backing of the father. But Don and Candace does not support what is going on, right?
Mhm.
They end with Hong and Nick and Dog and any of these people, right? They basically at this point want to be left the hell alone, right? Which a lot of people
it's
out
not
here,
helpful.
a lot of people out here think they're suspicious.
They
Okay.
are.
But here's the thing, and is we got to remember in all of this, there's absolutely no proof that either one of these families have done anything. Okay. And out of all the kids, why did they pick just Summer and just Sebastian to talk about? There's kids missing in every state in this country. There's kids that go missing every day, but they didn't choose those kids.
Right.
They got on the popularity of what was on YouTube because it'll get you on TV. It'll get you to talk about your book. When a person goes up there to talk about a missing kid, but they got to plug their fucking book first,
It's gross.
it is disgusting. And how somebody with such, I thought had honor, would do something so low to promote themselves, right? Like, is it that hard to become relevant again once you kind of?
It must be.
I mean, I don't understand it. I see this person post a lot of stuff about Jesus and God and how church has changed his life. And if that's the case, then why are you doing things that wouldn't sit well with the Lord? Okay.
That's a good question.
The Lord don't want you using these kids to put out your book.
Yeah.
This ain't something these people belong in, right?
Like beggars can't be choosers. That's right.
There's things that these people could do to help out and do the right things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the media group or the investigation group, there's things they can do. Stick with the media and exposing these news stories and things like that, like they were doing originally before they went from media to intelligency. Because what it's showing is a lack of intelligency, is what it's showing to me, right? And people have to stand up to this. Every time they posted a tip, these same people on the green team ran with their bullshit information. They ran that narrative.
Right. Every time they
blame Chris and Katie, blame Chris and Katie, blame Chris and Katie. Even the billboards they got out right now
I
or
think they changed them.
they,
I saw something about that.
because what? Because they
got pushback.
Pushback from it, right?
Yeah.
It's unprofessional, is what it is. If you're a professional intelligence agency, you would keep an open mind that anything could happen. Anything.
Right.
Not you wouldn't set your mind on, and they did it from the very beginning.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, they went at Chris and Katie, right? Now, if Chris and Katie would have teamed with them, they would have blamed Seth.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? They'd have been like, Seth did
Right.
it. It's whoever they have communication with, they have done to befriend it, and they're going to blame the other side.
Yeah.
Right? So they were taunting Chris and Katie to try to get them to talk to them. And it's just to bring attention to themselves in this organization that they say they charge $500,000 to hire on.
Let's be real.
Would anybody pay that? Is the question.
I mean,
right?
if you want things to be messed up, maybe.
And after this, what type of credibility are they going to have after they done botched this whole thing up? Right? You got you done got the dad, you got YouTubers all taking part in a lawsuit that they lost.
Right.
Right? They lost. This is terrible to be going on while there's a missing kid. I mean, it is so effed up. And at some point, wouldn't you think as a father you would pull away from these people? And you didn't, right?
He just doubled down.
He doubled
just like
down.
Freaking Bullhorn Betty. He
and
got cornered and he got worse.
He's still holding the belt loop of Tony.
Yep.
And everybody would agree that Tony's a criminal, but people love Seth. Make it make sense. Well, you could be the greatest person in the world, but if you got a con man standing next to you,
you're just as good as the person you're standing next to.
You're only as good as the person you're standing next to. That's what I'm saying. Good people should surround themselves with good people. And this man hasn't done that. And so many people think I've changed sides. I'm not changed sides. Is this, we got Chris and Katie, they don't say much. We can only talk about what we know about so many times. But yet these idiots keep doing, in the words of Queen Bee, fuck shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They keep doing weirdo stuff, suing people, losing, making up drama, people defecting from their camp, them trying to save face, them backpedaling, them just lying. What started that RICO? Who fucking knows? Who knows what started the RICO? But it was bullshit. And all it did was take away from the kid, because people stop talking about the kid to talk about the RICO. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That when they get out here on these rants and getting all mad, they're not bringing awareness to the kid. They're taking attention away from the kid for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Seth has never had this much attention in his life. You can tell. Right? He's never had people that gave a shit what he said. Never. Right? This dude sits around and plays kids games. Damn Magic the Drag. He's the Gathering. Nerd shit, right? Just nerd shit. Nobody's ever, these women, they didn't pay him no attention, right? So he, even look at what happened in this case. Women saying, yo, this dude's pervy. He's got a missing kid, and these women are showing up to help him. And he's using that as an opportunity to hit on women trying to find his next Katie, right?
Right.
You see, he paying women's bills allegedly and stuff like that. I don't mess with none of them. I'm at the point to where I'm like, let's just find Sebastian Rogers. That's the most important thing in all of this. Not, and like you said, it don't really matter if I like you or not.
Mm-mm.
Right? It really don't matter if we like him, we don't like him, or what. What matters is finding Sebastian Rogers. And as a parent, somebody has to get out there and set up organized searches, keep putting these billboards up, keep doing things to bring attention to Sebastian. And I don't think none of that's going to happen. I believe this is, I think at one point it was legit, and then it turned into some type of grift. Okay. Now I don't completely understand it, why these people are doing, I know why some people are doing it, clearly. The money. Monkey Boy, money, Betty, money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get some of them, but some of them I don't. Like Tony, I never got that one. I just think he's just some type of con man that's up to something snaky. Just like in the Caleb Harris case, right? That ended bad. Him fired. When they found Caleb Harris, he had nothing to say. It is horrible what's happening. Do we want to see this same? Do we want to see these people involved in Summer Wells's case?
No, absolutely not.
I don't.
No.
I don't think none of you guys do either. You know, I think the viewers, we don't want to see we want to see these people go away. Stop making up things. Stop causing trouble. Listen, the pot has been stirred enough, right? That we don't need people coming in. I understand. I get Tony now. You know, I think about it. Tony tried to be a YouTuber. He tried to do the Idaho 4 case. He went out there, tried to cover it, drone around, and nobody cared, right? He has a personality of a corpse, okay? I've seen fucking dead people have better personalities than Tony, right? And nobody cared. Nobody watched him. And then he figured, well, let me find another way to latch on to people. And that's what he did. He did it with the Caleb Harris case because he happened to know that father. And then he did it with Seth. And he ain't let go of Seth.
He was trying to get a couple of different cases and people seen his communication with the other people and they contacted the people to tell
we're going to make sure this as a community. If he reaches out to any other families, we're going to let these families know his history and what he's known for. Okay. That we don't want to see him damage any other families or put any other families in the situation like we're seeing with Seth. All right. Now we should know Seth should be going live sometime this week coming up, right? Because it's the end of the pay period for YouTube. And for some reason they like to get that last, grab of the month, right? It's what I call it, right? So you should be expecting an update. Yes. Okay. Because we know the pay periods of YouTube, right? So we should be expecting a stream from this great man, okay, that has aligned himself with all these
I still
people.
can't get over it. The last stream they did, there wasn't even a picture of Sebastian.
No, they don't show pictures of him or nothing. That's what I'm saying. How much could they really want to find his child? Okay. Did you want me to play this?
No, I was sending you that too.
Okay, so we played this.
Yeah.
You don't want me to play that. Do you want me to go ahead over this interview a little bit? Okay.
I don't know how to word it, but it's followed up and found out and confirmed one way or the other because
you're all the way.
I mean,
like you're gonna rewind.
Yeah, I mean,
how did it get that far? Oh, that's probably
So
where you
first,
stopped watching.
Thank you both for taking the time to come talk with me. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So here we are. So it's an entire year after Sebastian's disappearance. There's no really strong lead. There's no sighting yet. So tell me what you're feeling now. Here we are 1 year later.
I struggle to put words to how it feels, honestly. The amount of ups and downs, the amount of possible leads that haven't panned out. We every day, it's like waking up to this reality that it's actually real. And Sebastian should be home with us.
I agree. He should have been found. And that's the scary part, that he hasn't been found. Right? You would think if he just ran away, he would have been found by now. But we got to remember, this child didn't run away in the city. He's in a rural area where there's a lot of woods, rivers, ditches, creeks. I mean, it's sprawling.
He should be in school. He should be playing. He should be learning. He should be experiencing life. And until we can find him and until we can bring him home, we're going to keep doing everything we can to make sure that people don't forget about him. We're going to keep making sure that we spread awareness for him, and we're going to keep searching, and we're definitely going to keep praying.
Okay. Now I have seen signs that they put up. They have been putting up blips and banners, right? And I seen that today. So they are still they are spreading some awareness. Now, one of I think my biggest problems with this, and you guys can back me up in the chat, is you would think she'd be more emotional.
No, I don't have a problem with that. Some people deal with things differently and are less emotional or less.
I said you would
vocal.
think.
Right.
Right. You would think she would be more emotional. We've seen parents of missing kids that, you know, but everybody acts different, you know, but I think that's one of the things that make people suspicious of Katie is she doesn't show a lot of emotion.
No, it's the fact that she doesn't do the things. She doesn't. Sebastian, if you're watching this now, please get to.
Well, she does talk directly to Sebastian in this video. And I criticized her for that too. Like you would think, hey, you would be this way. I know no two people are exactly the same, but I would think she would be more, even at a year, right? And you got to think a year goes by fast for us, right? But for somebody that's going through something, time moves slower. So her year didn't fly by. Her year would have drug ass because you got, you know, when you're upset, time seems to go slower. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not having fun, time goes a lot slower. And even at a year, I would be destroyed. But that's me, right? Now, I know that ain't proof that she did it, right? But it just seems like I think a lot of people are so suspicious of her because she's not really emotional. But what we don't know is she an emotional person? Because we don't know Katie.
Right. There's people that would rather die than cry in public. So, I mean.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that don't like, even when something's sad, I try to hold it in public and try to hold my shit together.
Right.
Right. Even as a man, you know, man law, you ain't supposed to be crying around people. But sometimes if it's so sad that you can get away with it.
Yeah.
You know.
Of course.
Especially
what she said, her words, it just. Something's off. It feels
like
her.
If we knew more about Katie, like we could see her in other things to know if she's you know, how emotional she is about things, then you would get a better concept of, is she sad or is she not sad? It's really kind of hard to tell because
that's exactly what the chat is saying. The words should come naturally, not forced. And someone else said the way she answered questions make me think she's thinking of the next lie.
It's hard to gauge.
Takes her so long to answer.
It's hard to gauge because we don't know where she was at before this. That's all I'm saying. It's hard to gauge. I say she don't show very much emotion. That could be simply because she's not a very emotional person, or she's not showing emotion because she don't have any emotion towards it, and which would be like a, you know, because she may have something to do with it.
Yeah.
So it could work either way. Maybe she's just not an emotional person.
You've told me you do want to stay positive. I know you both want to stay positive. That's all part of it. So in your mind, do you see Sebastian coming back through your front door? Do you feel he's okay? He's alive. He's out there.
I dream about it every day. I dream that one day I'm going to wake up and this is going to be a nightmare. But yes, I believe that my son is out there somewhere. I believe that we are going to find him. We are going to bring him home, and we're going to find a way to recover from this. And I'm going to watch him grow into a young man. And
well, he's already a young man. You've already watched him grow into a young man. I mean, he grows, you know, anymore. He'll be a full grown man. Right. I don't know. I just,
her words. It's what she's saying. It's,
you know, live the life that he deserves to have.
And let's be honest, if your kid was missing, you would want to be hopeful that he's out there, that he's alive. Nobody wants to face until you show me a body that my child is dead. Nobody. But listen, guys, trigger warning part here. I don't think Sebastian's with us anymore. And I hope none of his family's watching this to hear that. either Seth or Katie or Chris or any of y'all. I hope y'all don't hear that, but I'm just going statistically in the odds. You know, after 24 hours, the chances of being found alive drop by 50%.
Yeah.
We're talking 14 months later. Think about how much that percentage doesn't drop.
Alex said, "Do you need a hug, Jimmy? It's okay to cry, Jimmy."
Alex said that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I mean, there's things I'll tear up over. You know, you'll get me on some things, and I try to fight it, but there's just, you know, there's different type of crime. There's the sad hurt crying or something like. There's things I talk about that I've shedded a few tears on YouTube, right? And I try not to.
When your brother died, you cried up here.
I try to hold it in, and but some things just, you know, grab your heart and you can't help it. Even though you're trying to fight the tears back, you can't even hold them back. You know, that you get to that point. But everybody is different, and you know, but I'm an emotional person, right? I show happiness, anger, sadness. I'm all over the board, right? So I would say I would definitely act different because I'm such an emotional person.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if and just look at the difference between you and me is you're a little bit more the hell with that, the where I'm more give people a chance. Where you are just like, nope.
I give people a chance until I feel like they don't deserve.
So everybody's a little different.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? How they handle things, even between the two of us, we're not going to act the same under the same scenarios.
No.
Right. So I give them that, right? But
I always compare all the grieving mothers to Brandy Neal.
Yeah, Brandy. That's what I try to do too. But Brandy's a real emotional person too. Brandy, if you say Michael,
soft-spoken, and you think it's just that.
I mean, I don't know. What I'm saying is, I never had nothing to judge Katie by before this.
But we didn't have anything to judge Brandy by before her incident, and so it's like. Yes, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but you had so many interviews that she'd done, you got a feeling of who she was. You know what I'm saying?
There's several of interviews she's done also.
Brief, not like, and all of them, she didn't show very much emotion.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Either she's don't have a lot of emotion, or she's just not showing any emotion.
Right.
And if you're not showing emotion, it seems like you don't care.
That, along with the words that are coming out of her mouth, it comes off as they know what happened, in my opinion.
What would you say to him when he walked in that door?
Oh, God, I don't even know if I'd be able to speak. I'd probably bulldoze him down with hugs. Honestly, when I picture that, I just picture being able to hug him, to hold him, to smell it. I mean, just to be able to hear his voice, to hear his laugh.
Because he was a big man.
To see him just be with us and be okay is like I can't wait to see my son. I want to find him so bad.
She doesn't believe what she just said.
You don't think she believes what
she doesn't believe what she just said?
But maybe she's saying it because it's the positive thing to say, but in her mind, she knows that Sebastian's not coming home.
She knows what happened to Sebastian, in my opinion.
You think he's coming home, right? How would you describe what you all have experienced this last year with so many unanswered questions still?
It's horrific, to be honest with you. I don't know how to describe what it feels like to watch the news, to go hang flyers in every store, every business, every place that you go to, and still find that some people don't even know about it. To hear that.
Well, one thing about this is it would have helped people knowing about it if she would have spoke up more in the beginning.
Been standing on her rooftop like a mama that's missing her kid. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the beginning she didn't. Now she's coming out doing TV shows, American Most Wanted.
Yeah,
she did the news. This ain't the only interview she did either at the one.
There was another one.
She did a few of them, and she did the America's Most Wanted. So I mean, now we got her talking and coming out and doing things, and we're hearing Chris come out more and talk. But they took a long period of time in between the very beginning, and they just shut up. And that was a good opportunity for her as a mother to rally other women behind her. Mm-hmm. And she really didn't do that. I think that was, a missed opportunity, and that added to her suspicion for me.
That's
right?
Right.
There might be a lead, and then just to sit there and have to wait and find out that it's not him yet. And
it's pure hell. I mean, there's nothing you can, there's no words, there's no way to put.
And right there, she really didn't know how to describe what she was going through. Like, I think it's easy. It should have been easy for her to describe my life as miserable. I miss my son. I'm brokenhearted. I'm so upset. I can't even think right now. She kind of goes to Chris, which, listen, that's her husband. I can understand it. Like when I need something, PJ's there for me. And when PJ needs something, I'm there for her. And she just seemed like she got hit with a loss of words right there, but this goes into, showing your emotions. Are you real emotional? Can you easily talk about your emotions? Like, I'm pretty easily talk about, I'm upset. This bothers me. My heart's broken. I'm mad. I'm happy right now. I'm having a good day. I can easily put how I'm feeling into words. Now, some people may not have a little bit more difficulty putting their feeling into words, right? I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt a little bit. But really, like I said, it seems such lack of emotion to me. And I see her, sniffling, and her eyes are starting to water up a little bit. But it seems like, to me, like I wouldn't be able to stop the tears. And that's coming from like a man, like there's just some things that I just can't even hold back. But like I said, I'm a really emotional person. I get mad easy. I get sad easy. I get happy easy. I laugh quick. So my emotions are all over the place,
How this actually feels. And anybody that can, I don't see how. I mean, it's day-to-day life changes and you're stuck. It's almost like it feels like it's a Groundhog Day thing where it's the same thing over and over. You wait, you hope.
I can agree with that. Like that their day is probably the same, the same type of shit's been happening for the last year. Nothing's changed. I've been saying that it's the definition of insanity. If you do the same things over and over again and expect a different result, that is the definition of insanity. So I can imagine them, being in a position where nothing's changing. Now that's if they're innocent, right? That's the whole thing. Cause a lot of people believe they may have something to do with it. See me, I don't know. I keep an open mind, right? I know there's a possibility that Sebastian could have absolutely ran away. Do I think that's the case? No, I lean more towards Katie may know something, but I never rule out the fact that Sebastian could have actually ran away and these people could be absolutely innocent and they just seem suspicious, which, I have said it before. If they don't have any knowledge of it, they're the most guilty, innocent people I think I've seen. Ever. Okay. Because I don't believe Chris was there. I believe if something bad happened to Sebastian, it happened under Katie's watch. And Chris loves his wife, and maybe he's covered for her. But that's just my theory. That I have no proof to any of that, and we're not going to rule out the fact that Sebastian could have walked out that house and he's out there somewhere. But either way, he still needs to be found.
What about the original thing that I said where he might have been sent outside as a punishment and Chris was on the phone?
I mean, them are just theories. We don't know if he did be outside or if any of them videos that were posted of people around them vehicles were legit, then he may have went out that house. But here's the thing. No matter how he exited that house,
I agree.
I don't believe he is okay.
Right.
You know?
Phone call may come in, you may get something, may get a lead. Turns out to be nothing. That's how it feels.
What is that message?
And here's something I want to touch on. If you're guilty, would you come up onto the internet at all?
Yes.
You would?
Just like Don Wells.
I wouldn't.
I
wouldn't answer nothing. I wouldn't do no interviews. I wouldn't talk to a bunch of fucking nobodies if I was guilty. Would I go out back and hang myself?
Just like Don Wells. I'm telling you, they come out to make
just
sure
like Don Wells. But here's the thing about Don Wells. What proof do you have that Don Wells done anything?
I heard him say out of his own mouth that he was in that freaking shed when the cops got there. I mean, he just stuff that he hasn't said, and the stuff that he said that was.
Here's the thing: you have zero proof. Zero.
Yeah,
Zero.
I mean, I'm not out here screaming Don Wells did it. I'm just.
But you're saying just like Don Wells, but we don't have any proof.
To the internet,
we don't have any proof that Don and Candace did anything either.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have anything to go
so
take
we're,
them to court.
So we're coming to these full conclusions without any proof of anything.
I've met these people and I know exactly how I feel about Don and Candace, but you're right. You're right.
You know, with no proof of any of it, we've already set our mind we've come to the conclusion of it. To me, this is a book that you're writing that hasn't finished being written yet. That's how I look at it. We don't know what the last chapter is.
I mean, some stuff we're never going to know.
Some of these people have done wrote the fucking book, shut the book, and threw it on the shelf. Right? You can't do that. This is an open investigation, an open case. Everybody thinks they're right out here. Listen, I think I'm right. You think you're right. Everybody watching, I know you guys think you're right. But here's the facts. We don't fucking know. We truly don't know. Is it enough that we could take these people out to the gallows and hang them from the gallows?
I'm not doing that, but I still believe what I believe based on the words that have come out of their mouth. And I believe that Chris is coming out to the internet to talk to control the narrative, just like Don Wells was. I mean, it's as simple as that.
I'm just saying, myself, I wouldn't do any of that. If I'm guilty of something, I ain't talking to you about it. I don't owe you shit.
You're not.
Right? I wouldn't.
You don't think you're smarter than people. You don't think you could come out and control the narrative.
But here's my thing. I'm with PJ on the Wells. Yeah, a lot of people are.
Face emoji, thumbs up emoji.
A lot of people are, but it goes into we're convicting people without any proof.
I'm not convicting him about anything. I know there's no proof that they're not in trouble. They don't have any kind of freaking cops at their door. I just still have a right to my opinion.
Yes, I get that. But what I'm saying is you done came to a conclusion.
Based on the things they've said out of their mouth. Yes.
Okay. Right.
And just like I don't like Seth's behavior, I don't believe Seth did it. But I also, and you know what?
But we don't got no proof of that.
You know,
there's time unaccounted for on Seth too. I mean, we don't have any proof to any of it. So why not go into it with an open mind that anything is possible?
I mean, I have an open mind, but I know how I translate words, and the words that have come out of all of their mouths and their actions and their behaviors coinciding with their words leads me to believe I have an idea of what might have occurred. I know I'm not a detective or anyone important.
Might.
Right. So I'm not up here saying, hey guys, I know exactly what happened. Like nobody is. So we're all here in the true crime sector of this freaking planet we call Utopia.
Utopia.
we're all sitting here discussing it just like anybody else. Nobody's out here hanging nobody in the gallows. I mean, but I have my opinion and my input, and that's what you've got, and it's different than mine, and it is what it is. I'm not hanging nobody in a gallows.
So just let me ask you this. If Summer Wells is never found, you will always believe Don did it.
I didn't say that I believe Don did it. I never said that.
I mean, that's just
see, that's the problem right there, is that I said what I said, and you took Don Wells did it out of that.
Or Don and Candace together. But we don't have no proof of that. I mean, I do know, I think that they covered it up.
There's nobody.
But I never thought they killed Summer Wells.
Okay, I'm not gonna. You just keep talking over me, and I can't get anything out, and it's frustrating, and we're not getting anywhere.
All right, let's go.
We were talking earlier last week. Tell me what that message is that you want to make sure our viewers hear from you tonight.
I want to thank everyone who is searching. I want to thank everyone who is spreading flyers, spreading awareness.
That says, Dolly, you're grumpy. I'm not grumpy. We're just discussing a case that we have a different view about.
You're trying to stand for Chris. I know. He paid you.
Yeah, Chris paid me, right? No, what I'm saying is we weren't even arguing about Chris. We were arguing about Don Wells.
I know.
Did he pay me for Don Wells too?
I'm just being facetious because that's what everybody always says. It was a joke.
I know.
So
but what I'm saying is we got to keep everything an open mind in this because there's no proof.
Right. And there's no proof that it didn't happen. So therefore I have an open mind. That's what I was trying to say.
And you met Don and Candace. They're human beings.
That don't mean that they don't know what happened to their kid.
No, but we should give them the respect of we don't know. Right?
I mean, I don't know, but I believe what I believe.
I mean, you have the right to think that, right? But that what we think, what I'm trying to tell people is what we think ain't fact. I think Katie's guilty, right? But that don't make it a fact. That's what I want to clear up here is, yes, we can think it.
I mean, that's a good
But
point.
we have no proof. No proof. I wouldn't take Katie. I wouldn't be mean to Katie.
No, I wouldn't be mean to Katie. Even
I wouldn't hit her in the neck with a taser.
I wouldn't be mean to her if there was proof and she was on freaking death row. I wouldn't be mean to her because that's what I was trying to say to you about the journalist. And
no, I'd shit talk her. Then
I wouldn't.
I would. If you convicted, I'm going at you. But right now we don't know. Yes, I have my suspicions 100%. Candace is the missing link.
No, Candace doesn't. I think Candace almost doesn't know because Candace has been shit-faced to a point where like belligerent and hasn't.
Oh, that's where we different. So, Candace knows. Candace knows, and Don Wells knows. In my opinion,
knows for sure.
Right? In my opinion, they know. But I've never, for one moment, ever thought they killed their child. Ever. I have no. It's never stuck in my mind
all the time. So yeah,
I believe they weren't the best parents in the world, but I don't believe that they killed their child. And never have I thought that.
I want to ask everyone not to forget, and I want to encourage people to keep helping and to keep bringing awareness, not only to our son, but to all of the missing children, because they all deserve to go home.
Why would she be asking for other children right now? That's weird. They haven't even found her kid. They have no leads. They have no ideas whatsoever. And yet bring awareness to all the missing kids. That's weird.
Well, I mean, a lot of parents have done that.
When we split it up like that, I don't even remember what exactly she's answering, but it's something.
Well, I mean, I've heard like even Brandy say, you know, she tried to help Summer Wells.
She knows what happened to her kid.
Allegedly.
That's what the see.
I want to ask everyone not.
I mean, even Brandon and Stacey, they're innocent to proven guilty too. You know, even though it looks like the evidence points at them, until they're convicted, they're
right. And I would talk to all of them just fine, even after they're convicted.
Even Karen Reed's innocent to proven guilty.
Yeah, I got it, but I can still believe based on what I know and based on the evidence and the actions and the behaviors and the words coming out of Karen Reed's mouth that she did it.
Not to forget, and I want
How
to
was Kay raised? Kay could sell ice
encourage
to
people to
Eskimos.
keep helping and to keep.
How was Kay raised? Kay could sell ice to Eskimos.
I don't get it. Is that supposed to be a joke?
I don't think she could. I don't think she's very believable.
I don't think so either.
I think if anything, she comes off suspicious, which even if she didn't do it, she still comes off suspicious.
Yeah.
If she did do it, she comes off suspicious. I mean, either way around it, she's suspicious.
It has to do with that phone call. Just
Dolly
like
and PJ are going to come to blows. No, we're not.
No,
we're not even mad at all. We
No.
argue about stuff like true crime all the time. We're not going to agree on everything 100%.
No.
Like, that's not going to happen. We're both into true crime, and we both got our own minds.
Yeah.
So we're not mad at each other.
Bringing awareness not only to our son, but to all of the missing children, because they all deserve to go home. And I would also like to say that if my son could hear it, that
it's almost like she remembered she needed to say that.
It's the look into the sky to me.
See,
like,
I don't, the behavior aspect of it, I don't buy that.
Here's the thing. When like she's talking about it, I know she's saying he's going to be okay. We're going to bring him home and blah, blah, blah.
She's
blah.
not really saying that.
Hold on,
though.
not finished.
Sorry.
And in her mind, she knows that's not the case. So when she goes to speak about Sebastian or directly to Sebastian, she's looking in the sky because in her mind, she believes that Sebastian is no longer with us. Now, if she knows that because she did something or she just feels that way, that's the impression that I get when she looks straight up like that and she starts talking to Sebastian. No.
I don't remember what it is.
Okay.
Sorry.
we love him so much, and that we are going to keep searching, we are going to keep looking, we are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
There's a tear, and she's hopeful, but in the back of her mind, she knows that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you can. She hasn't told me. She knows she's just
right,
and it's like it's rehearsed. What I was trying to say, I remember now. Is like she was done with the thought, and this is what we said from the very beginning. Me and the chat is that it's almost like she's scripted. And like she's like had a light bulb moment where you literally saw the light bulb above her head, and it was like, oh shit, I gotta talk to Sebastian as if I'm talking to him. And then she looks up to the sky, like you said, and it's like then the next point, it's like she's made bullet points and she's going through the motions of like the script or something. It doesn't feel genuine, doesn't feel. But I mean, I can't say I know what's in her mind.
Yeah,
I don't.
I feel like that when she looked up to the sky to talk to him, she knows he's gone. And then that a tear was real because of the emotion of knowing her child is gone.
Right.
Right. Like you can see as she's talked, like there's certain things you can fake. You can't fake your eyes swelling up. You can't fake turning red. You know what I'm saying? And these things are occurring. She's not touching her face. Okay. That we can tell unless it's edited.
Right.
So you can definitely see that her eyes from the moment she started were clear. Till now her eyes are red. Her cheeks have gotten puffy. Right. And she's just dropped that first tear. Okay. So now we're 6 minutes and 40 seconds in before we drop one tear. Okay.
Yeah. And that's when she happens to be
looking up at the sky.
Right, and talking to Sebastian.
And she's saying he's alive and all these things, but in the back of her mind, I feel like, and this is just my opinion, I could be completely wrong on this, she knows this child ain't with us.
Yeah.
Or in her, even if she didn't do anything,
she knows what happened.
She
to the
feels
kid.
like the child is not
Ultimately,
with us.
she knows what happened to the kid, in my opinion.
Describe your hope right now.
I'm trying to be positive as I can.
Wait, what?
Because I know that my son is out there
right now. I hope he's listening and he comes home right now.
I struggle to find words to even describe how it feels anymore because it's a living nightmare, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about the fact that Sebastian is out there and that we are looking for him, and we're going to keep looking for him, and we're going to keep praying to God that he is okay, and we're going to bring him home.
I truly believe he will be brought home. Now, how he's brought home, that I don't know, and when
I mean, he's
he'll
got
be.
legs, right? He can walk, right? He can walk back into the house if you ran away.
He's
He
not
can-
walking nowhere.
So, like,
At this
being
point, he's
brought
not walking
home
anywhere.
almost sounds like, what are you gonna pick him up and carry his remains? Like, I don't know. I'm thinking too much into it now. It's just like everything that she says is very, very scripted to me. I don't know what it is or why I feel that way. I just don't. I'm not buying anything she's saying. And like a simple question. I mean, it's kind of a weird simple question, but I mean, like, what's your hope right now? I hope that he hears me talking right now and comes home. I hope that the person that has him brings him back today. I hope that I go out looking and search for him because I have been and find him tomorrow. Like, I hope her response is like, huh? Like, what? That's not even the answer. She doesn't even say like, hey, I hope that da da da. She answers it like it doesn't flow.
And
It's
let's take this
answer.
in consideration. She has a special needs kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that is genetic and passed down from one of the parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which parent is it passed down from?
I mean, he has autism.
And autism, ain't that one of those things where kids sometimes have don't know how to control their emotions?
Yeah.
You know?
So you're saying she could be autistic?
I'm saying that maybe these disorders that are passed down to Sebastian has either came from Steph
and a lot of
or
Katie,
Katie.
not always.
You know,
she could have. I mean,
and she don't. Her emotions are like questionable.
It doesn't change the words that are coming out of her mouth, though. Like, I get the whole emotion thing. I'm not so much focused on the emotion. I'm focused on how she's responding, and her words that are coming out of her mouth just don't feel natural to me.
Okay.
This story, we know it's baffled our Hendersonville community. We know
Autism comes from the male. I read this. Well, I don't believe that.
I don't.
No.
Sometimes it comes and the parents don't have anything wrong with them.
Yeah.
So, like,
sometimes parents don't have anything wrong with them, and a kid who comes, it could be your great grandfather had autism or something's passed down through you genetically. Sometimes things skip generations and hit the next generation. So it's I mean, I don't know, but I'm just wondering why her emotions are the way she is. That's all my point is I'm trying to make.
It's baffled the state community. It's baffled much of the country as they hear about it. Is there anything that stands out to you that's the most baffling? Like, you're just trying to understand?
How we've gone this long and still haven't found him, honestly, is... I don't understand how we haven't found him yet.
Why do you think Sebastian is still missing?
Because we haven't found him yet,
That's
lady.
tough to say. I mean, it was the largest manhunt in Tennessee history for a child. And absolutely zero evidence. There's nothing out there. Law enforcement's working due diligently. They are working.
How does he know there's nothing out there?
Well, I guess according to what they're telling him, there's no evidence. According to what they're telling the public, there's no evidence.
See, he literally said there's nothing out there. Like, as if he's certain that there's nothing out there, and he knows there's nothing out there. And that's what he said from the very beginning, that they're not going to find Sebastian, if I remember correctly. And that's weird. Like, the words that are coming out of your mouth, you can perceive them differently, but it's literally what he said. There's nothing out there.
Well, it just depends on how you look at it.
There's got to be something out there.
I mean, if we go with according to the police, there's nothing out there.
That they're telling you.
Well, I mean,
you don't think they have anything at all?
No,
I do.
I don't think they got nothing. Zero. Zip. Kid's gone. We don't know.
Just vanished into thin air. Then
I don't think
just pooped, disappeared.
I don't think they know what happened to him. I don't think they have any clue to what happened to him. None. Zero. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, let's be honest. They came out and asked for the public's help in identifying a vehicle or a person or anything?
They usually do that when they already know and have things.
That's what I'm saying. And they haven't done that, so they don't know.
You're right. Yeah.
You know, and they've come out. They've come out and
spoke
spoke to the public and said, "Hey, we don't know anything. We don't have anything." The parents have been vetted. All three parents, right, have been vetted. That they've been cooperative. They don't have anything. My
private investigator certificate.
If the parents were uncooperative, they would come out and say they're uncooperative. They've lawyered up.
Yeah.
But they never did that. They said they're vetted and they're cooperative and we don't have anything.
You're right.
Nothing. I mean, if we're going to go with the exact information from the TBI and the FBI and the police, they have nothing.
Yeah, but they don't have to tell you if they have.
They don't.
So,
but we can say, well, we can say they got a million things and they know who the killer is and they know.
No, I don't believe that. But I mean,
right? But
I
that don't make sense.
Nothing.
They came out to the public and said, we don't have anything.
Right.
They made it clear multiple times. Don't believe the shit you're hearing on the internet. We don't have anything.
They're definitely allowed to lie to the public. The chat just said.
I understand that. But if they had something.
And vetted doesn't mean clear.
Yeah, well, you can believe what the fuck you want to believe. Does you see anybody in jail? I'm just saying.
Well, do you see anybody in jail? Disappearance, and they know what happened there. How long did it take them to announce the suspects? In Michael's case,
they announced suspects though. They had something.
At some point. It wasn't in the very second of what
they did. They came on the news looking for the people. They asked public for help. They asked for help. Do you see these people ask them for any help? They don't know nothing. That's if they did, they'd be asking the public for help. Oh, well, if you seen Chris and Katie around this time, or you seen her vehicle in these hours, let us know. The same thing with Stephen Stearns. When Stephen Stearns did it, what did they say? Guys, if you've seen this car, we need your help. Okay? Because they wanted to find, they would ask, they would want more people to solve a crime.
Right,
the police are going to ask you for help when they need it. When they got a clue, they're going to give that clue out. Right? It's just like when they have a video of a suspect, when they can't figure out who the suspect is, what do? They jump on the news and they show the picture of the suspect and say, we're looking for this person.
You're right.
You got to take these things into consideration.
This is part of the problem. This is, I think, why you have such a big issue with people spreading misinformation. Carolyn, I don't mean to call you out, but this caught my eye, and this is exactly part of the problem, in my opinion. She says, they've made it clear it is now a criminal investigation.
Oh, my God.
Where?
Oh, my
Where
God.
has that been clear? Because I've seen everybody that I watch that's actually news, and Nick Barris say that it is not, that he misspoke one time and said it was, but that is not
an active investigation. It is,
and it is not a criminal investigation.
Not a criminal investigation at this time, because they don't have any proof that a crime was committed.
How do we get so mixed up? How do we get so?
Because people say it so much,
and it's been muddied.
As long as one person says it, you haven't heard that from the police.
No,
right?
No, we never heard it from the police. And Bogey says she heard it too.
What is it?
Because she watches Justin.
Yeah, I mean, it depends who you watch on the internet. I mean, according to the police, we haven't heard a police come out on the news and say this is a criminal investigation. If it has, show me the news clip. Show me one news clip of Sheriff Craddock.
They said, but the news channel says it's a criminal investigation.
Well, the news also says that the bounty, that the reward is real.
Right, that's true.
Okay,
that's true.
They also gave these fucking idiots credibility.
That's true.
Okay, Nancy put fucking a dude that lied about his name and photoshopped a picture of Chris on her channel.
That's true.
That don't make it, because the news says it, don't make it true. What's the biggest thing you learned from Donald Trump? What's one thing you can take from Donald Trump?
Fake news media.
Fake fucking news. Okay, news say whatever the hell they want to say. They're not always right. Okay, but we haven't heard Chief Craddock or the head of any of these fucking police departments come out and say that there's a criminal investigation.
No, they said there wasn't one. After Nick Barris made the mistake of saying that there was one, he had to correct himself, and I thought he had the chief of police with him when he corrected it and said it was not a criminal investigation.
Okay, so we don't have a criminal investigation.
Right.
We haven't had them ask the public for help. We haven't had any information or any updates. Okay. I believe the police are in the same place. This is just my opinion.
Right. That's what Alyssa Kelly just said. Because the police say it's an investigation. They did not put criminal in front of it.
Yeah, it's an investigation. It's an active investigation. They also said in the beginning tips were pouring in.
Yeah.
And now tips are trickling in.
Because now they're going to Dog's hotline.
Right? So they're trickling in. But here's the thing. They say it's an active investigation. Everything's an active investigation. Anytime somebody's missing, it's an investigation.
You're going to just be on
But
the
they
list.
said from the beginning, there's no signs of foul play. The family has been vetted. The family has been cooperative. The family, we know Katie took a lie detector test.
Caroline Miller said, Coffindoffer says it based on the FBI reward. PJ, it's on her video.
Coffindoffer
There's the source.
Is a former FBI agent for a reason. She is not working for Sumner County. She has no affiliate to Sumner County.
She does PR or something. They proved that she was a mouthpiece for someone. Oh my God.
But for Sumner County?
No.
Okay. Does she work for Craddock?
No.
Okay. Then what the hell does it matter what she says? She's not affiliated with that police department.
Dolly, why don't they arrest a suspect in Monkey's case? It's time, isn't it? Hearing PJ cry the last live made me cry myself. Yeah.
They're working on that, guys. They're working on that. That's a different story.
I think they're trying to say that, though, to you because it takes time to put things together.
It does.
Maybe they're
But
working.
in that story, you got to remember the police said they had information.
Yeah, and they asked for the public's help.
And they asked for the public's help.
That's right.
Right, all through it. Now, that's Chief Huff out there. And he is a cowboy ass fucking dude. That dude is legit. Okay.
Yeah, but why is he
Huff is
still
legit.
freaking? He still hasn't ever.
You got to make sure you got it all there, right? Look at Abby and Libby. It took 7 years.
Yeah.
Right. It took 7 years.
Why are all these cases so messed up, man?
But we're not going to spread. I'm not going to get up here and spread a bunch of misinformation. I'm going to give you the information that law enforcement has gave. That this is a active investigation. Leads ain't coming in a lot. They're trickling in, like they said. That the parents have been cooperative. All three parents, Seth, Chris, Katie. That they vetted the parents. There's no signs of foul play. And there's no signs of Sebastian.
Okay, Caroline says she knows how the FBI protocols work and they don't offer rewards unless it's a criminal case. That's a good point, though. When do you see somebody get a reward offered where it's just a runaway or a missing kid? But that's another
every
thing.
Case ain't high profile.
Right. And not necessarily that
every
it's high
case
profile.
don't get national attention.
If it was in fact a criminal case and there's this FBI reward and whatnot, why doesn't it say be on the lookout for da-da-da? Or like it doesn't give you any idea as to being a criminal
And
case.
even that reward says up to 50,000.
Yeah.
It's not even 50,000. It's up to 50,000. I mean, yeah, that is a good question. Why did the FBI put up a reward? Now, there are other kids out there that have rewards up from the FBI that there's no proof of foul play too.
Are there?
Yes. Yes. I thought it was kind of odd myself, but yeah, look into it. There's other kids that there's no signs of foul play and there's rewards for them from the FBI.
Because of the way they went missing.
Mysterious circumstances, right?
There's got to be something to it.
No signs of running away, no signs of foul play. It leaves you in a position to where could something happen to him? Could it not happen to him? Listen, just because there's no signs of foul play don't mean there wasn't foul play too.
Oh, and Abigail is in chat saying that Justin has a letter from the TBI that says it's a criminal investigation.
Justin is full of shit. If you believe anything Justin says,
you might not want to be here.
Yeah, you probably don't want to be here. Justin is so full of shit. All he does is lie.
He showed the letter.
Right? It is not. Show if that's easy to show me. Show me, okay? Show me.
I don't think there is such a thing as a news reporter degree. With them all reading the exact words, a 10-year-old could do that.
That's true.
Thank you there, short legs. Well, from what I'm hearing from Craddock himself,
it is listed under the kidnap protocol on their website. Okay, let me go look at that.
That it's an active investigation. The family's been cooperative. You can be a YouTuber and add to that if you want to, but that's what the police are saying. Okay, YouTubers may be saying different things. Your favorite YouTuber might be saying he was kidnapped, and Katie carried him out the house in a bag and fucking put him in a trunk of a car. You can believe that if you want. I mean, they might be right, but that's just them guessing. They have no proof of any of this, right? None of these YouTubers are smarter than the police, the FBI, or the TBI. I don't want to argue about it, but the thing is this, that's how misinformation gets spread. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you. I know what I've heard the police say, the head of the police say, and they say this is an active investigation. We've heard Nick Barris, which is the news reporter down there, come out, correct itself and say, oh, it's an active investigation, right? So, of course, it's an investigation. Does it matter if it's a criminal investigation? Just because it's a criminal investigation doesn't mean it's a criminal investigation against Chris and Katie. How do we know it ain't a criminal investigation against Seth? They don't got to tell us that either.
Right.
Right? That works both ways. They ain't got to tell us. They could be looking at TikTok Tony.
Right.
Right? How do we know that fucking weirdo?
We listened to the one video where the person claimed that they were looking into Betty because she did 3 different cases in Tennessee or something like that.
And all these people are
Come
missing, right? Yeah. So you don't know who, even if it was a criminal investigation, you don't know who they're investigating. You know, that's just.
I mean, also, Dolly, you're wrong. I seen the letter.
Okay. Well, you believe what you want to believe. Okay.
He showed fake.
You know, we appreciate everything.
Yeah,
fake.
Yeah, he showed fake pictures too, right? What about his fake pictures? Did you see that?
She'll send you a copy of it tomorrow. She said, okay. Yeah.
Did you see the fake pictures? Did you see the Nancy Gray interview get pulled down? Does that count too? Send me that. send me that along with that fake ass letter he got. Okay.
Everything they do. I mean, it is an active investigation, so I don't want to go into it, but it is mind-blowing at the same time. That,
and you can believe they're going to tell Justin way more than they tell anybody else.
He's
right?
on the end.
He got a monkey, right? They got to tell him, right? We got to be like, oh, we can't lie to Justin. Let's tell him everything. We know he shows dead pictures of kids. Let's make sure he knows. Come on now.
It's been a year, and the amount of people that still don't know about this, it's unnerving, basically.
Why is that important?
And I know you both want to try to get the word out as much as possible, and that's what this story, obviously that's what we're trying to do as well. There are many people who still do not know that you all have hired a private investigator. What can you tell me about the video that he recently has discovered and wants to share? I know this.
Okay, let me answer this. MT4581. Why would you be upset? Let's just say you're innocent and somebody's out there saying you're a killer. Wouldn't that upset you?
That would upset me.
Right?
Yeah, it would have.
I'm just saying, I ain't saying they're innocent. Yeah. I ain't said that this whole show that they're innocent. Me. Right? I said they're my number one suspects.
Yeah.
Right? But if I was innocent
and somebody was accusing
me, and
me,
you were accusing me of killing my own child, I guarantee you this, you wouldn't do it in my face. You wouldn't come in my face and accuse me of killing my own child, because I might go to prison for killing somebody. I can tell you that. Come in my face and say, accuse me of some shit with my own kid. Right? That's where I would be. Right? As a man, you ain't going to accuse me of some shit I didn't do. And if you do it, you better do it from where you're safe and not in front of me. All right. As a man, you ain't coming to me and accusing me of some shit I didn't do.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That's why he's upset about it. If he did it, then we will find out. You know, it'll come out in the end. Right. So, but right now, people are so convinced that they don't even think the kid ran away.
Right.
Like
it's not possible.
So many people have closed the book, just closed it. But listen, guys, I think the same thing y'all do, but I keep an open mind to, well, what if I'm wrong? I'm not right about everything. I can tell you this, there's nobody in here that's right about everything, or your name would be Jesus. Okay. We don't know. So if you get locked in that they did it, then nobody wants to look for the kid. Nobody wants to share his pictures. None of that.
They just want to harass them.
Yeah. Then you're in attack mode. Fuck Chris and Katie. But let me tell you this: if these people are innocent, you can't take that back. You can't take it back. Okay, you can. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think they give a fuck about your sorries? They don't, right?
I mean, their reputation is gone already.
Destroyed. Now, listen. If they are guilty, they deserve every bit of this. Everything they get, they deserve every bit of it.
The solid proof of their guilt.
But if they are innocent, they don't deserve one drop of this. We should have been lifting these people up, holding these, making sure these people doing the best they could. But that's didn't happen because
what drives me nuts.
They were convicted in the court of public opinion.
One of his comments: Chris is not, all in caps, Sebastian's parent.
That don't matter. It don't matter.
Like what? Why? If he was there taking
it
care
matters
of the kid,
if he's innocent or guilty. It matters
Right.
if he's innocent or guilty. That's the only thing that matters. If he's guilty, then of course he's getting what he deserves, guys. 100%. But if he's innocent, what if it was you? What if it was you? Like, put yourself in his shoes for me. You innocent. And all these people are doing this shit to your family. Think about that. That's why I keep an open mind to it. Like, that's why I say, hey, I'm suspicious of you, and I don't say they did it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
I can't take that back once I've done labeled
Right.
you a killer. I can't take it back. I try to treat people fairly. Everybody. Don and Candace Wells, I treated fairly. Did I go up to their house and call them a fucking murderer?
No.
You know, I didn't.
People did this exact same thing when we went to Don and Candace's. They're
like, how dare you?
Right. The people that you worked closely with before that tried to say you were sucking Don's dick. Like, it's weird. It's like you can't be like you can't have common courtesy with somebody and hold a conversation without being labeled as the opposite side.
If you're fair,
it's wrong.
It's wrong. Okay, if you're just being fair, okay, like they're suspects, right? To me, they're my suspects.
And I always said that, but then I said, but they're human beings. We humanize them a little bit, I think, because some
people don't. That's the problem.
No, some people still don't. You're right.
And here's the thing: it's like, listen. If they're guilty, they're getting what they deserve. If they're innocent, could you imagine?
No,
what they've been through? Can you even imagine it? Nobody out here could, because we ain't been through that type of shit.
Yeah.
Right? You got thousands of people talking so bad about these people. And if they are innocent, which, listen, I lean towards they know some shit myself.
They know stuff.
Right? But I still, in the back of my mind, go, man, if I'm wrong, I'm going to owe these people a massive apology. And I want to make sure when I do apologize, it ain't for something fucking terrible. It's for me thinking they were suspicious, not me calling them killers and they done this and they done this to their own child.
See, Bogey said, well, I'm not sorry because I think they both abused him anyway, so I'm not sorry. How are people so certain of that? Like, I don't know.
It's internet rumors. They believe
they're
rumors.
Just so set in it that they're willing to die on it. Like,
yeah, I mean, some people once that book is closed, to some people it's closed. I understand it, and I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just telling you guys where I'm at with it and the reason I do the things I do. You're going to come to your own conclusions no matter what.
And Stacey said exactly what I was getting at. He is more of a parent than Seth was. I mean,
I don't know who was a parent. Right now, what matters is, are they guilty or innocent? If they're innocent people, they're being treated like shit. If they're guilty, they get what they get. Okay, I don't feel bad for them.
We don't have the finalized decision because we don't have any proof.
This book is still being written.
Right.
This story is still being told. This story is not over yet, right? So if we come to a conclusion before the story ends, we're just predicting. It's not fact. And I say keep an open mind, and because this, if they do come out to be innocent, nobody's gonna apologize to them.
No, of course not. And even if they do, what's that gonna do?
They're gonna say just like this. Well, they were shitty to them anyway.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So they can't win situation.
No.
They can't win whatsoever, no matter what.
No.
If they're innocent, listen, I'll be the first one to come up here as a man and apologize for thinking they were suspicious in this and saying the things I've said. Okay. And because when you should have been lifting somebody up that's going through the worst time of your life, you're tearing them down. And I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that if they are innocent. But I think, you know, in my mind, I'm just like you guys. I think I'm right. I think I'm right, and they're suspicious, and they got some answering.
But you can say they're suspicious without saying they did it.
I don't know if they did it.
Right.
That's my whole argument in this. Is that's why I don't like the spread of misinformation, because this is what makes people determine they did it, and they're so passionate about they did it.
Right.
Right.
They're willing to die on the hill.
Yeah, they're
they
really,
know for a fact, and we don't even have the evidence to point that way.
Exactly. They're willing to die on the hill for something that they believe, but don't have any facts to back up what they believe.
Right.
Okay.
That's a good. I think that's a good PSA for the day.
Yeah, like, you know, listen, everybody's humans. We deserve that respect as humans. There's a reason why in this country you are innocent to proven guilty. Okay. I've said it in the beginning of my show on YouTube, you're guilty to proven innocent in the public opinion, right? That there's a reason I say that, because listen, look right here, everybody, you've convicted these people. You've convicted them. I've convicted them, right? But the facts are the facts. We don't know.
And then the fact that now you're able to recognize that in the beginning you did the exact same thing, and now you know better, or you've learned from what you've said as to not be the right way. Now people that say, oh, you're a flip-flopper, it's like they're not adult enough to grasp that this is like, that's my goal every day. You want to be better today than you were yesterday. You learn from what you gain knowledge on. And
yeah. Wisdom comes with making mistakes and learning from them. That's when you become a little bit wiser. Listen, you ain't going to get wiser without making mistakes.
Right.
You ain't going to make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I want to be a better person than I was yesterday. If I made a mistake yesterday, I don't want to make that same mistake today. You know, so
it's just a better way to analyze crime cases. I fully agree. Like, just to not nail that coffin shut when there's no, I mean, there's nothing against them in the public eye, in the police.
The best way, like I said, I could describe it is it's like writing a book, and the book is still being written. We haven't got to the last chapter of the book yet. The last chapter may be Chris and Katie going to jail.
Yeah.
It may be Sebastian ran off and he found in the woods somewhere, right? We don't know what that last chapter is. So why close the book? That's the point I'm trying to make.
Has been shared with authorities now.
Yes,
it has. This is involving the neighborhood that you live in. What can you tell me about that video?
It's eye-opening to see that this is something that recently has surfaced, and it's been this long.
Pat, here's the thing. If I wanted to talk to Chris, I could talk to Chris. Okay. I'm not worried about all that. I am not worried about it. I want to figure out what the hell is going on. I want people to search for the kid. The time of talking is over.
Right.
If nobody searches, Sebastian Rogers is not going to be found. All the fucking talking in the world is not going to bring this kid home.
You can't find something you're not looking for.
People have been talking for 14 months. You cannot find something that you're not looking for. I want people to search. That's what I want. I wanted people to search for 14 straight months. I want people to look for this kid. Spreading awareness is great. Us up here talking about it does spread awareness. That's a good thing.
Okay, just ride the fence then, Dolly.
Ride the fence?
It's like you can't win for losing. Because you want to be a fair person and give everyone the benefit of the doubt and say things like, well, they're suspicious to me, but we don't have proof that they did it, which is true. That's a true factual statement. And now, you just want to ride the fence.
Well, I'll ride the fence because I'd rather be on the fence and
accuse the wrong person.
Accuse the wrong person of doing some horrific murder.
That's not guilty.
Right.
Again, it's like people can't seem to
even if they're guilty, are they guilty of hiding them? Are they guilty of killing them? What are they guilty of?
We don't know.
Right? We don't know. What if they hit him? What if, like some people think he's in a home somewhere. He's in a fucking Alaska somewhere. Are they guilty of murder or are they guilty of parental kidnapping? Which one are we accusing them of? Because we don't know either way, right? So which one is it that I'm supposed to be on the fence about? Because I'm on the fence. I don't even know if they're murderers or they're kidnappers but I'm saying they're suspicious.
Yeah.
Right? Just like you guys. Like, I don't get that.
The people that are arguing it are not, they just believe they're guilty and Seth is not.
Yeah. Seth is, I don't think Seth is guilty. I just don't. He ain't a suspect to me. He's just a piece of shit and hangs out with grimy ass people. That's the difference.
It's just taking that long to find something, and what the video shows is kind of mind-boggling. We went from
they've said mind-boggling a lot.
A sighting to potentially having a sighting, and it kind of changes. Like, wait a minute, now we may have something to actually work off of and move forward with, and see where this goes. Exercise every avenue till its fullest.
No
It
stone
doesn't matter.
unturned. No stone unturned. And Katie, you told me earlier you were determined
That's weird.
to get to the bottom of this, to get to the bottom of that video.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that could possibly be something that could lead us to him. We're gonna keep looking.
Huh?
We're gonna keep
Her
digging
answers
and keep
don't
finding and
corroborate
confirm if it is or isn't.
weird.
Because, I mean, if it's possible, then it's got to be confirmed.
How hopeful are you?
Okay, well, if you don't like what I got going on, Kangaroo, hop your ass on up out of here. Okay, we'll miss you.
No.
That this video truly has something that could lead to finding Sebastian?
I pray that if there is anything even remotely in it that could help us find Sebastian, I pray that it is.
Matter of fact, I'll help you.
I don't know how to word it, but it's
Oh,
followed
they
up
already
and
helped.
found out and confirmed one way or the other, because, you know, I mean, I just,
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the video. I know what's in it.
Don't worry, we helped that kangaroo hop. Okay. Listen, this is I don't care if you like what I'm doing or not. Or if you don't like my opinion, tune out. Tune in when you do like my opinion. All right. But you know, you tuned into my show.
They didn't like my opinion.
You didn't. Well, they don't gotta like your opinion. I invite you here. They should be respectful of my guest on my show.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure people don't like me on your channel.
No, everybody loves you.
I know everybody loves Dolly. Even though I'm an asshole. Even though I'm an asshole. Right. But listen, don't come in here being disrespectful to my beautiful girlfriend, okay? Because that's being disrespectful to me. Okay. I invited her here.
She's not. I hold you at gunpoint to make me come up here with you. Like, I'd rather not.
She didn't force me to come up here. I asked
You're
PJ.
pretty strong-headed. I'm not.
I asked PJ to come up here, not the other way around. Okay. She could care less if she's here or not. I asked her to be here with me. Okay. So don't come in here being rude. That is unnecessary. If you don't like somebody, shut your face. Okay. We don't care.
You're on one tonight.
I'm just saying, like, what kind of shit is that? Like, I like Dolly Vision, but fuck, PJ got her own channel. Then tune out. Listen, nobody twisted your arm. Nobody made you hop your ass in here. Hop your way out the same way you hopped your ass in here. Okay.
Kangaroos have a mean kick, you know.
Well, you get sometimes a kangaroo gets kicked back. Okay, you get a little kickback. I don't think you know what us talking about cases we're so passionate about that you want to hop your ass in here and say some slick shit, right? I don't think this is the time to do it.
We're about to go at blows, according to Matt.
According to Mab, we about to kill each other, right?
Throw fists.
We damn sure we can fight with each other, but you can't fuck with us, okay? We stick up for each other then. All right. You don't mess with it. Don't you ever know when you see a couple fighting, you never get in it?
No.
Right?
That's
Because then they're just gonna take it out on you.
Yes.
Right? They're gonna forget they were fighting and just focus on your ass.
Right.
Okay. So, and we're not fighting anyway. We're disagreeing on cases that we're passionate about. There's a difference. Like when we go chill and watch TV, we ain't fighting about Summer Wells and we're talking about other shit. We were packing Easter baskets today.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've been doing.
There's
right?
big ass Easter baskets on the table in there.
It sounds like we're about to kill each other. We've had a great day. We've done been out to the beach, out to eat, went shopping. Right? We've done a lot of cool things today where we got along perfectly fine.
We don't usually not get along. It just seems that way because I talk and then you talk and then I talk over you and then you talk over me.
Well, that's just the way we talk.
I know that. I'm just telling them in case they don't know.
Yeah. Like if PJ wants to come up here and stream with me, I usually ask her to come up here because she don't really care either way. And most of the time when I come on your channel,
I just go over there in the hallway and start screaming at you from the hallway.
Yeah, and usually on your channel, you ask me to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
So we just don't take over each other's channels. That's why we have 2 channels.
Yeah, and
right?
I seen somebody say a
comment. And if you haven't, make sure you sub up PJ
Thank
Vision.
You.
Okay, because every now and then I'll be over there hanging out. It's not true crime based. Sometimes we talk.
I've always talked about everything. Just kind of my input on
but
things.
I look at your channel, it's more of a in general thing.
Yeah.
What we're doing, our
Commentary.
adventures, or like whatever. You talk true crime in the morning, and you talk.
I always recap your stuff usually.
Yeah, yours channel is a little bit different than what I do here. You know, not much different. Sometimes it's still true crime. It depends what we feel like talking about.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we just eating tacos on your channel.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
We eat tacos a lot.
Yeah. So usually we taco channel is PJ's when we having tacos, right?
Name.
Or going out to eat, or going to a park, or going to the beach.
Driving
We usually,
to a slingshot.
yeah, we usually are on PJ's channel. And then her morning show is always her. I ain't up in the mornings. And usually my late night show is always me.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm asleep.
It's when we're both up together or a weekend that we're on the same schedule.
Yeah, because on the weekends we used to do stuff and just stream it, and then sometimes you wouldn't go live, but we've gotten to
and usually I don't even go live on the weekends. This is rare lately that I've been going live on the weekends. But as summer warms up, you'll see less of us on the weekends because we're going to enjoy our summer, of course, you know. But yeah, the more of this story is, I think Chris and Katie are suspicious, right? Me, myself. I think, and the key reason I think she's suspicious is because of the lack of emotion that I'm seeing. Okay.
I think it's a lack of action in the words out of her mouth. So technically we have the same opinion.
Yeah. Like even these channels that I disagree with, like Monkey Boy, and I have the same theories. I think the same things, right? I just don't make up things, and I don't go, okay, they did it. Right. I keep an open mind that there's a possibility that Sebastian Rogers ran away.
Right.
And people act like that's impossible. That's not impossible. Kids run away every day. Every day. I mean, there ain't a day. I mean, right now, as we're speaking, somewhere there's a teenage kid running away right now. Their parents didn't see him leave the house. Parents don't know where they're at. Parents don't know what happened to them. And they're gone every day.
Around here, it seems to happen like
twice
a day.
It happens more than that because we live in the city. Kids go missing constantly here. Usually it's just a case of a kid ran away, stayed at their friends a couple of days, and they come home. And Virginia does a really good job about finding you. I mean, we don't fuck around. I don't know. We find you. You go missing here, we find you usually.
It's like in Virginia that
now, if you hide the body, we usually put you in prison and don't find the body. But your ass is going to prison, or we're finding you.
Right.
It's usually one or the other here, right? I had to channel hop to think outside the box. Well, listen, the best thing to do in any true crime case is keep an open mind, right? I believe this. Keep an open mind that anything is possible. I mean, aliens didn't come down and fucking abduct the kids. I don't mean that open. Okay, don't think crazy thoughts. Bigfoot, El Chupacabra got the baby. None of that. Keep it within logic, right? Of things that logically could happen. Use common sense when you come to your conclusions, right? Because a lot of people are coming to conclusions without. It's like watching a movie and predicting the end of the movie is what it's like.
I mean, some people can do that.
I do it a lot.
You do it a lot.
I do it a lot. I'd be like, well, but I could be a movie director, okay? Because I just know things that are going to happen.
I agree with PJ on Seth and Chris and Katie.
Jody, a lot of people do. Now, PJ's a little more, they did it oriented. You know what I'm saying? And I'm more of a, I don't know.
I mean, what is it that I said they did though? This is my issue too, is that you interpret what I said and you're not really grasping what I said. I feel they have guilty knowledge that they know what happened. That doesn't mean that like she took out the knife and stabbed the kid.
That's the thing though, because so many people think, you know, Chris and Katie could have hid the kid. Some people think they murdered the kid. Which one? It can't be all of it. They didn't hide the kid. They could have murdered the kid and hid the kid, I guess. But it ain't all of it. It's only one thing is right. There's only one answer to this.
Right, but if you're hiding the fact that you know something and you're alluding, like
that's what I'm suspicious of Chris of, because I believe Katie told him. Right, I think Chris may be hiding some guilty knowledge, and Seth may be,
and I think that's
and
why
Katie may be guilty.
Seth is able to get away with trashing them as much as he is because I think he knows also, and they know that if they combat it and they come at Seth in a response, that he's going to be able to actually say.
I think Seth is an opportunist.
I do too.
That's if you said one word to describe Seth, I would say opportunist.
Yeah, but. In this case, I think he knows a little bit too, just based on stuff that they've said. And that's the only thing I'm really accusing them of is that.
Well, Seth knows them better than anybody else knows them too.
Right.
You know? Now I'm not saying that everything Seth is saying is wrong. I'm just saying I don't like the people that are around Seth.
I think Seth is a liar. So
I think he lets people get out there and lie off the back of his kid.
He lies too. He said the trash truck video was trash trucks. He said freaking so many different things that are flat out bold-faced lies. I'm sorry. You don't have to lie when you're literally in the truth. And for what reason do you lie other than trying to deceive or hide something?
Okay. Now that we done battled it out, then we done went over all this. We didn't even get to Karen Reed.
Oh, right? I know.
We'll just leave Karen. We'll just leave Karen Reed out.
We didn't get to what else were we going to discuss? There was a couple of different things.
You know, just Karen Reed and the court coming up Tuesday. JLR is going to be there. I had planned on being there, but I don't know. I don't know at this point. I'm sure he's going to go up there and cause some fucking ruckus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's good. He's good at doing that, and he has his beef with Turtle Boy. To where is I'm more neutral. Like, yeah, I don't like Turtle Boy. But I'm not going to go up and confront Turtle Boy and fight with him. Like, it's not that important. I have my opinion. I don't got to tell you. I don't have to go up and personally tell you my opinion.
Right.
Of it, right. Like, I'd rather keep it because you may say something. I may end up in jail in fucking Boston. Right. So that's why I know not to start shit. Because once you turn,
I mean, but if
once you get me going,
you would,
once you get me going, I'm more of a, you may say something and I may take it the wrong way and I may fucking go to jail, right? I may do something to you. I ain't one of them that might just say something to you. I might do something to you. I'm that guy.
We've seen JLR get kicked in the freaking leg.
Yeah, I guarantee you this. Ain't not one of them. I would be locked up right now. One of them kicked me.
Yeah.
Right. And I guarantee you this, they wouldn't kick me but once. One time. That'd be it. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I don't try to cause any problems with people like that, because I know if you escalate it and you say the wrong thing to me, this whole YouTuber shit goes out the window and the real me is going to come out on your ass. Okay. Because I ain't going to care about the consequences. A lot of people, they think about the consequences before they do shit. I don't. Once I see black, once you anger me to a certain point, I don't give a damn who you are. Okay. You only going to push the wrong button, but one time. And I'm going to flip the hell out. And I'm going to make you going to regret everything you did. I'm going to make sure that, and I don't think about the consequences, right? I react. And that's why I know better than to go up there and do things like this, because you may say something that makes me mad and you lose some peace.
I don't think you're right. He said, I wish Mr. Stony Loney, I wish Chris would grow up hair and hop on Dolly's show, but we know he's too scared because Dolly won't. I don't
think he's scared. I don't think he's scared.
If we asked him to, he might actually come up. I mean, but we hadn't. I mean, what's the point of talking to him at this point?
I don't want to argue with him.
and he's just gonna ask him the question. He's gonna dodge and dance around.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would.
He knows. He watches everything, just
yeah,
like Don Wells did,
he watches, and
to make sure nobody's getting close.
my
to
thing
what he
is
knows,
this:
in my
me
opinion.
fighting with Chris, is it going to bring Sebastian home?
No.
It ain't.
No, and there's not going to be any new information, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not going to bring him
Easter,
home.
Baby chick emoji. Jesus has risen so we can all go to heaven. All we have to do is believe and receive. Rabbit emoji. Praying gesture emoji.
That is true.
Emoji. Jesus loves you.
Oh, thank you. We keep forgetting that it's
Easter.
It's
And we're
Easter.
over here cussing everybody.
Yeah, and Jesus loves us. We got to remember that. Let's turn it down a notch.
What did you say in MGL's live today? So you and JLR ain't friendly no more? I saw you comment on MGL's live today.
I'm friendly with everybody. I don't hate anybody. I don't got nothing personally against JLR. I'm just saying that you wouldn't kick me. I would act different than JLR.
Right.
No, I know JLR has his beefs with Turtle Boy, and he likes.
Yeah, because he went to his baby mama's house.
Yeah, he's going to try to. JLR is he's trying to get a reaction. Me, I'm not trying to get your reaction, because if you react, then I'm going to react, right? And so I try to avoid that type of stuff because I know my temper, and
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it for me to go get myself in trouble, because I know if I say something to you, you're going to say something to me, right? And then I got to say something to you, because I ain't going to let you get the last word in, and then it's going to escalate into possible me going to jail, right? And I'm not from that area, so I don't want to be sitting up in jail in Denham or Canton or Boston, anywhere. I don't want to be sitting in jail anywhere, right? So I know my anger levels. I know what pisses me off, and I avoid those things. Okay, if I'm going to get to that point, at this point, I need to walk away from things, and sometimes that is the hardest thing to do as a man, is to walk away and go just whatever, right? It's one of those. Sometimes your pride.
That put Edgar in chat. I'm so over it. Edgar.
Yeah, if you say Edgar, matter of fact, look, let's do this. This is the show. You say Edgar here, you're getting timed out. All right. If you're not, you're gonna get kicked out.
We say real
we say names here.
They're not scared.
Okay. You can get away with Mama Bear and Papa Bear if you want, right? But we're not gonna call some people some fucking weird name from some dude that plays with a monkey that fucking wears too much makeup.
It's just weird.
We ain't gonna do it. But happy Easter to him. You know what I'm saying?
Happy Easter.
I hope he gets some monkey eggs or something, you know. But we're not gonna do that. I don't know, right? The hell if I know? I don't know what monkeys do. I ain't got no monkey, right? I don't know what they do. But we ain't gonna do that here. It's Chris and Katie and Seth, right? We'll let you get away with Sean. Okay, you can say Sean.
Even that's weird to me, but
that
was funny.
That was funny.
Dog really truly didn't know who he was.
Yeah, you can say Timmy and the whale. We'll let you get away with. You can say Mama Bear, Papa Bear, Step Bear. We'll let you get away with any of the bear stuff. But
I don't know. Maybe Edgar is just a trigger word for me or something. I just don't like it.
It's stupid.
Like, what?
It's stupid. KK, Killer Katie.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to call this bitch a killer, then just straight up and call her a killer. Why is there got to be?
Don't have the balls to call her a killer.
I don't.
No comment.
No comment on that one, okay? No comment on that.
We don't want to be called homophobic.
It's like a Ken doll, right? Like a damn Ken doll up in here, right? The bad thing about messing with people like that is, and people like to say you
are homophobic.
Yeah, that you're homophobic.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't care who that man sleeps with. He can sleep with damn every Pakistani dude in the Taliban. I don't care, okay? That's on him. I don't have nothing personal against who you sleep with or who you love or your sexual preferences. That's none of my business, right? Lord. That's none of my business. I don't care anybody in here. If you love somebody, love them, right? I don't care they woman, man. any of that, right? What you
It's got
identify
nothing
as.
to do with that.
I have no problem with any
Just
of
don't
that
be a
stuff
shit person.
in this world. Yeah, don't be a shit person. Be a good human being. I don't care what your preferences are. If you identify as a zebra or a squirrel or a furry or whatever your preference is, be happy. Be a happy human being. Be a good human being. Your private life is your private life. What you do sexually, that's none of my business anyway, right? It's never mattered to me. Like,
Puts the monkey in the
I know
bucket.
really good people that,
It's not about that at all.
yeah, and in all walks of life. So that shouldn't really matter anyway, right? Unless you're talking about certain things that you probably shouldn't be talking about. But in that said, like I said, I don't hate anybody. Let's open up the phone lines.
All right. See? Bingo Bliss said, I'm not afraid. She killed her son and Chris took him somewhere and disposed of him. I believe that with all my heart. If he was alive, he would have been found by now.
That's your opinion.
Just to say it so, like, with your full chest like that. I mean,
Yeah.
damn.
I mean, people have the right to their opinions. If when you say things as fact without telling people, hey, this is my opinion, right? You're basically calling somebody a killer, right?
That's what they are, right? And if for some reason they're wrong, they're okay with just calling them a killer anyway.
Yeah.
It
don't matter if you're wrong.
If it was me, I wouldn't want it done to me.
I wouldn't want it done to me either. That's why I would say, well, you know, maybe Dolly's suspicious of this, or well, people are accusing Dolly of this. I wouldn't say Dolly did this.
Right.
You know?
And I don't know.
One, because it's me. I ain't gonna talk bad about myself.
A lot of people can't seem to take themselves out of their own skin and imagine things on with them.
Yeah. From some of these people tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Dolly, PJ.
Hey, Dolly and PJ. Holy crap. It's Sniffles.
Hey, Sniffles.
Hey, listen. I was on PJ's live earlier and I joined as a member.
Awesome.
I was the one that my baby boy played his first Opry live.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, listen. Y'all kept me and my crap together during that time because he grew up on the Opry as a little boy backstage, but I was being like all weirdo. So I so loved that live. And I guess I've never gotten to see PJ's live that way. So I so enjoyed it. And I just wanted to thank y'all. Y'all kept me together.
Well, today, what did we do? We went shopping and we went out to eat. And yeah, how did your boys' show go?
Oh, it went well.
Awesome.
It went well. And you know what? I sent a message at the end because my husband spent a lot of time in Virginia Beach back in the 90s.
I think I read that message.
Yes, I think you did, PJ. Yeah, it was right at the end. And he's like, ask him about this place and that place. I'm like, wait a minute. What are you talking about? These strip clubs and all this and that. But anyway, I just want to thank y'all.
We were talking about all kind of crazy stuff today.
Y'all were, and my husband does not get on YouTube, but he was sitting right next to me because he was nervous too. And I'm like, just listen to Dolly and PJ. He's like, who the hell are Dolly and PJ? I'm like, you know, Dolly's like your brother because he's a Williams too. And I've talked to you about that before. And he goes, oh, ask him, does he know about this and that? Anyway, y'all kept us in our crap together in the green room while our boy was getting ready for his Opry debut. Like,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. But anyway, sorry, I'm coming down from the high. We just got home, but I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And PJ, I've rarely been able to catch your live streams, but today you
at the crack of dawn.
I know, and I'm not. No, but I totally enjoyed it.
I'm
And
glad you liked it.
no, you guys, like, we're sitting in the green room and I'm like, holy shit, come watch, babe, watch. Like, you guys helped us so much. I mean, you always do. But anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'm
All
a
right.
member now of PJ's channel too.
You be
So
good.
proud of y'all.
Good night.
I will.
All right, Pete.
Okay.
Dolly, PJ.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. Let me just turn you down in my background. Okay, there we go. First, I want to say Happy Easter to you and PJ.
Thank you. Happy Easter.
Thank you so much. So, I've been around a long time, Dolly. I'm Love with Scorpio on YouTube. My name is Liz, and I'm calling from Florida.
Awesome.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say I've been around since summer.
Oh,
and
well, it's been a while then.
Yeah, it's been a while. And when I first started going in with the Sebastian case, it's obviously horrible, as we all know. But I just wanted to know about, when do you think Tony pulled in, that it went left for Sebastian?
I wouldn't say it went left for Sebastian, because even if Tony would have came in or not, I don't know if we would have been still at the same place. We still may be here even without Tony, right? Where the boy's not found. I think he didn't help Seth at all, right? I think he took that part of it and helped turn this into a little bit of a clown show. I think in the beginning, like, I really respected Seth. I thought he was doing the right things. I truly do. And then we seen these people like Seth get on his team and Betty get on his team. And then her allies started to kind of push a narrative of
I think that was because
the
when
family murdered this child. That's the narrative they pushed.
Tony came in,
and there's no need to
with
look
everybody.
for him. I think they put that out there more than anything, and I think that's horrible, because we don't really have any proof of that. And not that they're wrong. It's just we don't have any proof of that. And I believe at that point the searching for Sebastian Rogers stopped. And I believe there's a couple important things in a missing kid case, is to spread awareness and to search. And I'm a strong believer in, you don't find something that you're not looking for. So I believe that when he came in, it became more about clout chasing, about people knowing who he is, attention on them, and not so much attention on Sebastian. And I blame Tony for that a lot myself. And the people that Seth surrounds himself with, in the beginning, I gave Seth the benefit of the doubt. He's a hurt parent. He just needs friends. But after a while, you got to realize that you're around a pack of fucking crooks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Like, if you was living with wolves, you would eventually hear them howl, you know? So that's kind of how I feel about Seth these days. And I still pray to God that Seth finds his son. All of them find their son. Let the police figure out who did what, you know? But in the eyes of is I just hope they find the boy. If he's with us or if he's not with us, this has to come to an end. And I've gotten to a point where I feel like some of these people don't want it to end.
Absolutely. That's why I correlated to Summer.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it don't turn into Summer, and it looks like
already
it
has.
Yeah,
in my opinion, it already has.
I ain't gonna argue with you on that
kinda,
one.
Yeah, I kind of disconnected from it when I got like halfway through, and I saw, I saw what the other channels were saying. I don't really want to call anybody out, but the person that you've been talking about with the monkey. So I saw what was going on there, and I supported him for a long time. And I was just like, I
wish he would keep an open mind and stop pushing a certain narrative. And he's been doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe you can do something that's not the best and still be a good person. But if people just allow him to keep being a bad person and don't say nothing to him, then he's going to keep doing that. You know, he's giving the people what they want. His viewers must want that type of narrative push. They want to hear that.
Yeah, I was shocked when because I just dipped back in. Like I said, I dipped out, I dipped back in. And then when I saw all that whole narrative coming in, and your show last night, like, filled me in on everything that kind of was happening. So I really appreciated the show from last night.
I ain't no problem.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
Because
and I
if you
really
don't
appreciate
know, if you don't really know, you don't know. You know,
No.
you have to see. You have to see all of it and why people are doing what they're doing. And if you can understand the reasoning behind it, you can kind of understand what's going on. And sometimes people think I'm just an asshole, but I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm friends with none of these people. So I don't have to take their sides, and I don't have to push the same thing they're pushing because that's the popular opinion. You know, I honestly give people my opinion, and I try to be fair to everybody in it. And
I know you do.
And some of these people don't do the same thing. They're pushing their guilty narrative. They're guilty. And sometimes I feel like I'm fighting an uphill battle with all the people that are like, you know, once you've been programmed to believe something, it's almost like you got to deprogram people to keep an open mind. Now, I'm not saying that Justin's wrong, right? He could be absolutely right, and these people are responsible.
You don't have to make up lies to make
But you don't have to make up
Mm-hmm.
lies. You don't have to make up pictures. You don't have to do all this extra stuff. You know, the truth will eventually come out anyway. I believe, you know, what happens in the dark will come to light. It may take a while, and we don't have to throw fuel on a fire.
I agree. And, you know, whether whoever is guilty with Sebastian, like you said, it's going to come out. It's going to expose itself. I just think that people are running off on their tangents, team green, team this, whatever. It should be always about Sebastian, as you know.
Yes.
That's what you run off of. That's what I run off. That's what PJ runs off of. And that's really what matters, is the victim.
Yeah.
Where is he? Like, you know, that's really how I come through it.
And how are we getting to the next phase of what moving forward? Because if we don't change up what's happening, nothing's going to change as far as finding them. And they've been doing this for a year and a half almost, and nothing's changed. What makes you think things are going to change now if everybody's doing the same thing? It's insanity. It's insanity is what it is.
And it's money motivated, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like that is the case for some of the people, but not all the people. Some of it I just don't get. I think it's just like people want attention so bad that they're willing to sell their values or their morals for a little bit of attention on the internet. Like people,
whatever it is.
Maybe they didn't get breastfed as a child, or they didn't get enough hugs. I mean, I don't know which one it is, right? It boggles my mind a little bit. But hey, look, I appreciate you calling in.
I appreciate you.
All right, you be good.
Hi, PJ.
All right, I did all the talking. I didn't even let PJ talk. All right, peace. All right, you can take this call, PJ.
Okay. I don't.
PJ.
Hello, PJ. I was about to.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Dolly from Australia. How are you?
Hey, Australia. I'm doing pretty good.
Look, I didn't even think I was going to get through, but yeah, this is Leanne. I just wanted to wish you guys a happy Easter.
Oh, well, thank you.
I love watching you. You reach far and wide. You do a fantastic job. Much appreciation, guys.
Awesome. So, did you want to touch in on the Sebastian stuff, or did you just want to call in and say happy Easter?
Look, I'm a fence sitter like you. At first, I was Chris and Katie. The dude that was with Seth, when he first come on, there was a young kid, like a coloured guy and a dark kid with, a coloured guy and a young kid with him. I can't remember his name, but he used to give me shivers looking at him. I've never seen him since. He's suspicious to me. I can't remember his name. I think he had a gun at one stage.
Yes.
It was his friend.
Yes, I remember he was fighting with the pastor out there and he had the gun on him.
Yes, him.
Yes.
He just disappeared. He gives me the creeps. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
got the same kind of vibe from him you did. I was like, why would you be out there fighting with a preacher with a gun on you, acting all tough?
Yeah. So no, he was my suspect. But I think we'll just have to see. I hope to God he gets found and justice is served.
All right. Well, happy Easter to you. I will.
Thank you very much.
Nice talking to you. Peace.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
I really want to visit Australia someday. It looks like such a beautiful place. Okay. I just don't want to get beat up by a kangaroo. That would suck. Okay, but if I did, I'd do it on YouTube so everybody could watch it. It'd be my viral moment on the internet. You know, Dolly gets his ass whipped by a kangaroo, right? Them things are mean. I've watched some kangaroos F some people up, boy. I watched them F some people up. I'm like, I don't want none of that smoke. Okay, I don't want none of that smoke. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, this is Miss CC 502 from
Hey,
Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey, Miss CC. How you doing tonight?
Happy Easter.
Happy
I'm doing
Easter
all right.
to you. I'm doing all right too. Not too bad.
Enjoying this heat wave.
Yeah, it's hot here. It felt like it was 100 degrees here in Virginia today.
Man. After watching this interview, it's got me puzzled.
Tell us how. What do you think?
Just his bodily reactions and facial expressions, and her bodily reactions and facial expressions. I'm trying to figure out why she rocks back and forth so much. I don't know if there's like a comfort mechanism.
That's why I thought maybe, you know, just with,
or is she nervous?
With Sebastian having autism, that some of this is coming from his parents, maybe just disability. I don't know if one of them carries it or if it's a gene, or, you know, I'm not an expert on autism, but maybe maybe they have some similar characteristics as Sebastian. Maybe the lack of emotion or her rocking has something to do with something like that. And that's just giving her the benefit of doubt because I really don't know Katie.
Right, exactly. When you go into the military, don't they give you like a mental evaluation before you join?
Yeah, I believe so. I've never been in the military, but I do believe that they give you a mental evaluation. Now, I've had some friends that go in the military that are dumb as hell. I don't know how they passed it, right? They must let a rock in the damn military, but I've had some friends join and they made it in, and I'm like, I don't know how they made it through the mental evaluation.
All the Marines
probably
have
on
mental
endurance.
problems.
Yeah, like my buddy, he joined the Navy and he went through boot camp, and I said, "What'd you do in boot camp?" He said, "Man, we did a lot of running." He got leg splints, and he had to go through boot camp twice, right, from all the running they had to do. And I asked him, I said, "Where the hell are you going to run on a ship? It seems like you'd be doing a lot of swimming, right? That you in the Navy, right? You should be swimming. How far do you got to really run?" Okay, the edge of the ship's right there. That's as far as you're going to run when a missile hits that bitch. You jumping off, right? You better be able to swim. I don't see why they make Navy people do all that running, but yeah, he made it into the military.
Yeah, I just figured, you know, they probably would have did some type of mental evaluation, and they would have caught on to it if she had.
Well, if it's a mental, I think mental is when they do evaluation, they ask you ever thought about hurting yourself? Have you ever thought about hurting anybody else? Have you ever thought about, you know, jumping off a ship? You know what I'm saying? They just don't want you to get out there and hurt anybody else or yourself. But far as are you all together? Like they discharge people in the military all the time for, you know, mental evaluations. They bring them back in. Once they do something, they go, "Oh, well, you a little crazy. We need to get you on up out of here." So people with mental health issues do end up making it into the military, and sometimes they get out. And people are saying autism is not a mental disorder.
Well, I have autism. I think it kind of is because it kind of limits what you do mentally other than what normal people would do. So I kind of feel it is a mental thing. Yeah,
and you know, I've learned so much more about it than I knew, just say a year and a half ago. I knew nothing about autism. I honestly didn't. When I was a kid, when I was young in school, I don't remember kids having autism.
Not as many.
They were just slow or special needs. They didn't really say autism.
Yeah.
I think
they did. They just didn't have a diagnosis for
maybe
it.
You're right. And then they just treated, you know, because we had classes for kids like slow kids. They had like what they called LD, which was learning disabilities.
Yeah.
So you would go to a class that had kids with learning disabilities, and they had classes called ED, emotionally disturbed kids that would burst into anger or, you know, kick shit over or just flip out for no reason. They had those
Yeah.
classes, and then they, of
Because
course,
I was born in '84.
and then they had classes for kids with like physical disabilities, like in a wheelchair or missing a leg. So they had their own little classes, but I don't remember anybody when I was young going, you know, I got autism, or it just wasn't a thing, I guess, or that I was aware of till later on. Now we see a lot of kids that have this spectrum. Like, they didn't really have a spectrum then. They just treated, you were slow or you wasn't slow, or you
pretty much
emotional or you wasn't emotional. They didn't really had that whole spectrum, like you're level 1, level 2, level 4. You know, they just kind of clumped everybody together.
I've been evaluating this a whole lot because I really want to know where Sebastian's at. Like, this is something I've been into since it hit the.
And I remember you telling me you didn't think he could run away because of the social anxiety of being around people or being by yourself or
someone new, or I don't do dark very well either, so I don't know how he is about dark.
I don't do the dark very good. When I sleep, it got to be pitch dark, but I don't like to be in really dark places.
Yeah.
You know, and I damn sure
crunch, I'm gonna jump 3 feet in the air.
I damn sure wouldn't be in the woods at night, and I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see him walking out of that house. Something happened to him. Something, in my opinion, allegedly, something happened to him. Something's being covered up, or he's being hid. That's the only choices in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why people think. I see why people can think that. You know, because, you know, just their behavior and you know, him being barefooted and no jacket, and he's a kid, he's alone. It seems like he'd be scared. I'd be scared, you know, me myself.
In my opinion, I think Katie knows something, allegedly. Chris is keeping it in, and that's why he keeps exploding. And I think Steph is just left in the dust.
My only thing, CC, if I was guilty of something, I would not come up here and say nothing on the internet. Nothing.
Everybody's different.
I know. That's what PJ says. I'm just saying, if I'm guilty of something, I ain't saying shit to none of you. You know, I'm not going to come up here and give interviews. I'm not jumping on some no channels. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to try to let it blow over till everybody forgets about it.
I learned from Top Mom Casey Anthony. I got to call her that because
Top Mom Nancy Grace. Yeah. Top Mom. Yeah, that's what I called Corey Bixby's dad, Tot Dad. I was out there calling him Tot Dad.
Look how they were emotionless and playing off a good game and all that stuff. I mean, women can do that.
I mean, I get it, but she came from the media era, not so much the YouTube era, but I guess it's the same thing and just in a little bit different way.
Because she still can't step in public. So.
No, she goes out a lot, believe it or not. Casey Anthony, I've seen her in bars and she just did them videos talking about she's a child advocate and a lawyer and shit. I was like, oh my God.
I watched the videos. People have been attacking her and stuff when she goes out to public. So she's back to being secluded again.
Yeah, I've seen a woman trying to fight her in a bar before too over it. I mean, everybody, like, I know she was found innocent in court, but she was found guilty in the public opinion.
Oh, she's definitely guilty.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you. I'm not arguing with you at all. I think she's guilty too. I mean, even though the courts found her innocent, I'm thinking, woman, you guilty as shit.
And see, that's where we get back to the whole thing with the same case. What is she guilty of? Did she take a knife and or like, I mean, did she just not disclose what exactly
guilty
happened?
of being a shit parent? I know that.
I think she gave her child too much chloroform. Is that what you put over somebody's face?
Or yeah. That's exactly.
I think she put her in the trunk. She was there for a while. And then she disposed of her after everything started to hit the fan.
Yeah. All right, Miss CC. You be good.
Thank you.
All right, peace. You want to take a couple more calls with me?
I feel like I'm already over talking you to begin with.
You're not. You're going to take these next couple calls.
No, I don't want to take the calls. I want to have my own input into what everybody's saying, but I just don't feel like I feel like I'm being rude and disrupting.
You're not. You're not.
I'm getting tired and
you're not disruptive.
Okay.
This next call,
I don't want to have the whole call. Shut up.
I mean, I'm going to talk. I just won't say much. I'll let you get it. Okay. What is that?
It's a slap bracelet hair thingy.
Oh, does it work?
It was supposed to slap. Yeah.
It went backwards. It went backwards.
Because you did it backwards.
All right.
No, it's not me, Dolly.
PJ.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
I just wanted to clear up some information information about autism. Before 1980, it was called either mental retardation or a learning disability by the Diagnostic Manual.
Uh-huh.
And so in 1980, they changed it to infantile autism because they didn't see a large enough group of adults being autistic.
Uh-huh.
And then when they
let me ask you something real fast. And this I don't know. This is a serious question, guys, so don't get mad at me. Can you have autism as a child and grow out of it?
No.
Okay.
And autism is also not genetic. So I know all this stuff because my son is autistic.
Okay.
He's on the higher functioning end of it. So like he's verbal, he can walk, he can go to school and stuff like that, but it's not genetic. So, I mean,
do they know any reason of what causes children to have autism? I mean, not the conspiracy realm. I've heard conspiracy, like, certain things that, I don't want to get into it because I don't like talk conspiracy on YouTube, but I've heard conspiracy things. But is there a medical reason that a child be born with autism?
It has highly increased being diagnosed as autistic, and that's because the prevalence is with the diagnostic manual. Like you have to have that to diagnose somebody. It has a numerical code. It's expanded what the definition of autism is and how it's portrayed like medically. So as they've widened their research, they've widened the diagnostic manual, that's why there's more of an increase of reported children being autistic.
Okay.
So that's why, because
it was that they were having it back then. They just didn't have that term for it at the time.
In 1980, it was called mental retardation or a learning disability. And over the years, they've revised like the DSM manual, and every time it changes, it seems like the wording and the criteria to be met to be called having autism is expanded. So that's why we see more people having it today. Like, I don't know what the statistics were in 1980, like 1 out of however many kids have that, but now it's 1 in 10, and it's more prevalent in boys than it is girls. And it also usually has a comorbidity with it, with the top one being ADHD and the second one being anxiety. And so
maybe that's right. I totally got it. My kid was telling me, she said, if you went to the doctor, you would be autistic. And I do got bad anxiety. And PJ says I have ADHD. So I mean, but I don't think I just think I'm silly, me myself, right? But my kid, she keeps saying it. I don't know if she's playing with me. I hope she's playing, but she's just like, yeah, I tell all my friends you have autism. I guess it's better than saying my dad's a fucking nutcase, right? I don't know. So
I don't know if you want the label of being a schizophrenic or
no, I'm definitely not. I'm not schizophrenic or a sociopath. I know that. I only have one personality, Goofy, and well, technically two. I got Dolly and Jimmy, right? But Jimmy's just a quieter version of Dolly. So I mean, I think I'm good. Well, I'm the good kind of crazy. I'm not the bad kind of crazy,
Yeah, and in regards to the last caller talking about Katie's kind of rocking back and forth, that's not always a sign of guilt. That's one of the common things you see with people who have generalized anxiety disorder.
Yeah, I do it sometimes too, and I have really bad anxiety. Right.
I have anxiety too. I sway back and forth, and I, jiggle my leg or my foot.
Or I pace.
It's self-soothing.
PJ says something to me about it all the time. Like I'm gonna walk up. Why are you pacing? Why are you pacing? Why are you
It makes me
pacing?
nervous.
You know what I'm saying? But I pace a lot. Like I'll get up and I'll just walk back and forth. Like I ain't going nowhere. I'm just walking back and forth, back and forth. And she's like, "Why are you pacing?" I'm like, "I don't know." It's just one of those things that when you're having like anxiety, it relaxes me. You know, I'm burning off that energy, and even though I'm just walking.
It's your coping mechanism.
Self-soothing. That's why they say that it's a guilt mechanism, because you're self-soothing for whatever reason, whether it's anxiety for no reason or whether it's anxiety because you did something.
I have anxiety for no reason. I can't even explain sometimes why I got anxiety. It just happens. I believe back in the day it had a lot to do with my blood pressure. Now that my blood pressure is under control, I've had less anxiety.
I was gonna say, you just said you have massive anxiety. I've not heard you.
But
say
I mean,
anxiety in a
because
long time.
I have it in a long time, but that don't mean I don't have it. You see what I'm saying?
I have anxiety.
Once you have like panic, it's always with you in your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's always in the back of my mind, and it's to me, it's a mental thing. It's like I know it's in my mind, but to me, it feels so real. You know what I'm saying? That's hard to explain to people that don't have anxiety. But if you have anxiety, once you get to that one point somewhere that you have a full-blown panic attack, it's always in the back of your mind. It's always there with you like luggage. So
yeah, do you feel like you're in flight or fight mode a lot? Like,
I feel like the world is closing in on me, and I feel like I'm gonna die. I get a panicky anxiety, not like nervousness. I think it's more just, I don't know. I had a lot of panic attacks, and it's just like, it's weird because they could come from nothing. Like I'd not be worried about nothing, not stressed out about nothing, and it just happens, you know. And now it's been more under control. But when I went to the doctor, they told me, they said, well, we don't know if your anxiety is causing your blood pressure is causing your anxiety. But now I feel like it was my blood pressure, because my blood pressure has been a lot better, and the anxiety's been a lot less, like almost
That's
gone.
good.
So. But look, hey, I appreciate you calling.
All right. Thank you. You guys have a good night and happy Easter.
All right. Peace. Now, Dolly, PJ.
Hi, Dolly. Hi, PJ. This is Kai from California.
Hey, Kai.
Hey, Kai.
So I come from a military family. My first grandfather passed away December 7th, 1941, obviously Pearl Harbor. My other grandfather, he survived. He lived up until 93 years old, but he was participated in the Sea of Normandy. So he was in the service. And then I also had a bunch of cousins who were actually male and female. The female cousins of mine were very rugged, didn't cry, seemed to show no affection. Even like when they came home and we hugged them and stuff, they were just very kind of like robotic in a sense. And when things like, even for funerals and stuff like that, like, they never cried. And I talked to one of my cousins and I'm like, do y'all like cry? They're like, well, we are kind of trained, to not cry. It's the challenge of being a soldier.
I don't buy that. I'm sorry. If your kid's missing and you think your kid's possibly dead, I don't care what you're trained at. I don't.
There has to be some sort of where you can compartmentalize something. And I understand certain, other things, But even as a woman, my cousin, you know, she's 45 years old, and you know, she got out. She was in the military for 12 years, and she was so strict. I never saw her cry once in my life. And even when things were going wrong and things were going her way, she kept this just stoic attitude about everything.
Yeah, there is some people that can bottle that stuff up and don't show very little emotion. Not only not sadness, but they don't show a lot of happiness. They don't show a lot of humor. They're just, some people are just, like, I guess the word you said, stoic.
I mean, we you know, even gifts, she's just like, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very just bland. And I'm just like, and I even told my husband, I'm like, is that the way it is? Because, you know, again, my husband's father, he actually went to Germany and was with, and in the same, he was with Elvis Presley. My father-in-law would have been 90, and, you know, he passed away already. But he was in Germany with Elvis Presley, and he said, you know, the things they had to take at night to keep up and stuff like that, but they were trained. You know, I never saw my grandfather cry, probably maybe even twice, if that, and that's that his eyes just got a little bit watery. But I mean, and four of my aunts had passed, which were his daughters, and he did not cry once when his, you know, my aunts, his own daughters cried.
Yeah.
I mean, his own daughters passed away, and we were, you know, he didn't cry. When we buried him with full military honors and everything, like, everybody was bawling and stuff like that. To his dying day, you know, he did not cry. And even my cousin, who was, like I told you, like, she was, you know, in the military, she came and she saw my grandfather, you know, on hospice, and she didn't cry. It's like we felt like we wore our hearts more on our sleeves, and it's like even at the funeral, she never shed a tear. And I'm like, how can and so even with a missing child, like, how is that? Do you feel that is possible or not?
I mean, yeah, I've seen
a PJ being a woman or you being a male. I mean, I don't understand.
I've seen it. I've seen people that show very.
I mean, she cried in this interview. We've seen her.
Yeah,
cry.
she cried, but I mean, it wasn't like a full blown.
It's been a year.
I'm gonna lose my shit, blowing snot bubbles, crying.
She's been able to compose herself. It's been a year.
And then we don't know if she's under the influence of any medications for stress and anxiety and things like that, because that'll take away a lot of your emotions. Like, I mean, I don't know, but yeah, there are some people that just don't cry. And a lot of times, you know, your granddad, he may have cried, but he might have cried in private. You know,
right.
When he was in public, you put on this one tough guy face and you got to hold it together for the family. But then when you get alone, them tears start to flow. It happens with men. Like,
that's my point exactly. They cry in private.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that. Like, I don't like to get out here and cry, because sometimes people say things and I'll let them know, hey, don't get me crying, because I'm on the internet. People be clipping that shit, putting it on channels. So I try to hold it in as a man. There's nothing wrong with crying. It's just one of those stereotypes as a man that you're not supposed to cry in public. You want to cry, go somewhere private, shed your tears, come back, hold it together. It's something that's put on men, you know, that pressure of being strong. So to some men, tears are a sign of weakness, you know, and some people would say, well, yo, that's just weakness leaving your body, right? But then you still have that weakness in a man's mind. So, you know,
but
now
what do they say? What do you think of when they say, like, a real man cries? Because I've seen my husband.
All men cry. It's
like today, my husband cried in front of my father because of certain things that are, you know, have been going on in the family. And my dad came over. My dad, you know, 84 years old.
I think the answer to that is all men cry. Just a lot of them do it in private. You know,
and I wasn't home. I went to Starbucks and I came back and my husband was crying. My dad wasn't.
Well, as you get older, you get softer too. Like I cry at shit now that I would have never cried at 21. I watch a good sad movie, I'm tearing up, right? I'm just like, damn, I can't believe I'm over here. I'm wiping tears out my eyes. And I mean, I guess as you start to care more about people, little things get to you more than they used to get to you. I don't know. I've become a big softy over the years. When I was in my 20s, I was full blown raise hell and didn't care about nothing. In my 50s, I care about everything and I get sad quick. I'm a way more emotional person now than I used to be. So, but I've always been emotional. I'm quick to anger and I'm quick to humor. I go from 0 to 100 in all aspects quick. So I can be perfectly fine, and then something upset me and I could be sad fast, and something I could be upset and something make me laugh, and I can go from being upset to being fine fast. The transition's really quick with me, But
what about if this were like you in the position, or even PJ in this position, had you had gone through? I mean, hypothetically speaking, had you gone through the military,
I've
would you
never
be
been
so stoic, and or so? I mean, I know it's like I say, I'm just trying to see what other people's opinions are. Like, even if you were trained.
I mean, some people are saying that she had a traumatic childhood, so that's why she's the way she is. But I mean, ultimately, we can't really, we're not inside her brain. We can't really.
Yeah. And I think she did have a rough childhood. It sounds like she did. That could have something to do with the lack of emotion too. But hey, Kai, look, we appreciate you calling in. You be good. You stay safe. Happy Easter.
Okay, you too. Happy Easter. Okay, thank you, Dolly.
All
Thank you, PJ.
right,
Bye-bye.
All right. So you about ready to wrap this up?
Tired.
Okay. So guys, we're going to get ready to get up out of here. It's been good hanging out with you. And I guess, like just to break down a little bit of what we were talking about, it's hard to be inside somebody's mind, right? And my message for everybody is let's keep an open mind in this. Yes, if you ask me who my suspects are, I would say, hey, they're suspicious to me, but we have no proof. And don't believe everything you hear on the internet. Okay, that's the key thing. Just because somebody said they done it, don't mean they done it. Okay, just because people say they didn't do it, don't mean they didn't do it. Right? Okay,
you should be able to use your own discernment.
Use your own critical thinking and use some common sense in this. And remember this: the most important people to listen to in this case, and a lot of the cases, are the police, the FBI, TBI, especially in these ones in Tennessee. They're going to have your most accurate information. Not a YouTuber, not a former FBI agent, not a cop from the fucking 40s that got a YouTube channel. Okay, there's a lot of that on the internet.
There is.
Right?
It's like they're
believe what the police are telling you. You're right. They don't have to tell you the truth. They don't have to tell you anything.
Right.
So usually when they're telling you things, they're telling you what they know. If not,
what you said is really important. They usually do come ask for the public's help whenever they have, like, they're close to something or they're sitting on something.
That is true. And you look at that in the Michael Vaughn case, you look at that in the Brian Kohlberger case. If they had some things, they would be searching for the answers for it. And right now, it don't look like that to be the case. Okay, that's just my opinion. Your opinion may vary from mine, which we ain't fighting about opinions because
we have no way to fact check that.
Yeah, everybody has one, right? Everybody has one. But stand against this misinformation, guys. Stand against it. It's important, right? Even if you think they're guilty, still don't let people spread misinformation, right? That's the most important thing, to stop the spread of misinformation. And like I said, if you say something not knowing that you're wrong, that's different than purposely coming out here and lying. Some people out here are lying and they're pushing a narrative. What reason they're pushing that narrative? They're starting to get kickback from that. And you guys are seeing that. So I know
they can only do it until they get kickback. And then once they get that, no, we won't stand for it, then they start calming down.
Yes. And thank God that, some of you guys are standing up to these people and saying things. Now, listen, if you go against the grain sometimes, you're the bad person. And listen, I'd rather be the bad person than be a terrible person.
I'd rather be a
Right?
bad person than be a person that just sat in silence watching something
Yeah, and
bad
watch
happen.
some. Yeah, that's the thing. If you sit around and watch people do bad, you're just as bad as they are for watching them do it. Right? Now I'm not saying I haven't never done nothing bad.
This is why I was trying to get out of here. I was gonna start yawning every 2 seconds. I'm sorry,
but
it's rude.
when you do make a mistake, you need to learn from that mistake.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody does, right? And you need to do better, right? And that's the important thing. And that's why I say stand up to these people. If you do, they may do better. If you don't, they're just going to continue to do the same things, make up stuff, muddy the waters in these missing child cases. And we don't have room for that here. Let's bring some justice to these kids. Let's bring a voice to these kids. And if you have the ability, get out and search for these kids. That's my biggest problem with most of these parents.
She's guilty. Sorry.
Right? Most of my problems with most of these parents out here is they're not searching. And I feel like they should. Maybe I'm wrong for feeling like that. But that's just always been my opinion that, hey, why ain't you looking? If I was missing right now, I would want PJ to be looking for me. I would want Tiffany to be out there looking for me. I would want each and every one of you to be out searching for me. And remember this, because if I go fucking missing, remember I wanted y'all to look, okay? Now these kids ain't around to tell you this, but I am. I go missing, y'all bitches better come find me, all right? Because I'm gonna be waiting, tied up somewhere like they're coming for me, bitches, right? They coming. Y'all gonna get what y'all got coming. I know my people are looking. So remember that, all right? Come find Dolly. I go missing, and I'll do the same thing for you. I give you my word, all right? And remember this: PJ likes you, but Dolly loves you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Happy Easter, okay? Have a good one. Don't let anybody mess up your day. And I promise the Easter Bunny will come see you, all right? Peace.